And welcome everybody to November 22nd.
Steve's in a fucking hurry today.
Episode 124.
Strap in, Steve's coming in hot.
The podcast, episode 124. I'm your host, Steve, and always joined by
Charles.
or apparently Barry Goldberg.
Why are you in such a hurry?
Hey man, we gotta pump this shit out. Got things to do, motherfucker.
What is happening
sorry,
right now?
Dropping F-bombs. I got yelled at that one podcast Michelle was listening, and I don't know what, I was just amped up. I said the F word about 5 times in the first 30 seconds of it. I was like, no way. I listened back and I was like, oh, man, that's a lot of cussing. So then you lose track. Of course, via satellite. Bill, how you doing? I'm losing track now here.
I'm not as jacked up as you are.
He's got to get pumped. Dude, I told you to clean the house.
This is so much fun to level this right now. I'm panicking over here.
You can never level me. I'm gonna get a shirt that says unleveled.
Oh
I'm gonna wear it all the time.
Holy shit, dude. Strap in, ladies and gentlemen.
So I like to listen to music. Before we put the top 100 on, Holly's still laying in her room on the floor. I put on the fucking Hulk Hogan theme music. And then, like, I'm a Real American came out. I kicked open her door and go, this is goddamn America. Get your ass up and start cleaning. I go, we need a bald eagle and a Bud Light. Get your ass up. She's like, what the hell? She was like, she got up all like, what is wrong with you? And I was like, yeah, this is the fucking Holsters music. You got to get going. You got to get pumped. We need to play that music every time before the podcast starts. Can't play it on the podcast because we'll get fucking preempted by Vince McMahon.
Bump us off of you.
But the three of us will just jam it real quick.
We couldn't even like have it remotely in the background of the background.
Yeah, I know. And then we'll feel American, and then we'll just start the podcast.
Jesus,
what are you gonna say, Bill?
I'm sorry for the clipping, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying over here.
Although it's been like 30 years, I wonder if the copyright's even still good on that.
Oh, it probably is. When you bring it up on YouTube Music, it says WWE all over it, and then whoever the guy is that wrote it. Yeah, so this week we got our special Thanksgiving weird meal.
It's pretty fun, actually.
Yeah,
I was into the idea when you texted us. That's cool.
So we're kind of getting with the festivities this week. But there will not be more than 10 of us in the room when we eat it, so we got that going for us. I got a lot of video games this week. I didn't watch a lot of stuff. Charles did watch some stuff.
Yeah,
so
I got some
that.
stuff. I checked out some streaming stuff this week, some randomness.
Oh man,
I'm so good at my randomness, and we'll get into that here in a little bit.
And Bill took a pounding on that bet last week, which made no sense, and we'll cover that a little later. And also, I tried a new system. I'm always trying that streaming, man. I'm always trying. But all right. So first up this week. And Bill in Illinois has already experienced this, I think, the week prior to us. That is a fitting picture there, Bill. We got a 3-week lockdown in Michigan. Now, it wasn't a full-blown lockdown, but it's still...
Well, she was, I'll tell you this, she was nicer this go-round than she was the first few.
Yeah.
Like, all of Home Depot's at least open right now.
Yeah,
I can get flooring and paint. It's really nice that she's allowing us to do that. But, yeah, she's a little easy.
Yeah, so she closed all the high schools for 3 weeks. And I assume the high schools will probably just stay closed till after the first of the year. Well, and what would be the point of coming back for 2 weeks and then going back on Christmas vacation?
Yeah, so I don't know if you saw my note. Wayne County, the county where we reside at the show or whatever, recommended that you stay virtual till the 15th of January.
Yeah.
And in fact, it was all schools that they recommend that. So...
Yeah, so Holly probably will not be back in person for quite a while. Bowling alleys, she hates bowling alleys. The only thing she hates more than bowling alleys, movie theaters. She said no more of those. Those are gone. Sporting events, as far as high school sporting events, and no like in-person gym classes, meaning like a yoga class or a spinning class.
But she left the gym propers alone. She didn't pick on the gyms this time, so you can kind of solo dolo in a gym.
Yeah,
you just can't go to a spin class.
Yeah, you can work out with a guy with a shirt 3 sizes too small, but you can't go to a gym class. Of course, the dining. She has it out for these restaurants. They all got popped.
Yeah. And well, they say in the CDC keeps coming out and really railing against in facility dining, so it makes sense that she's really tough on those.
Yeah,
but they're trying. Every restaurant you drive by is like trying. Some of them got outside seating, and I'm like, in Michigan, good luck.
Dude, someone in Trenton, some restaurant owner, put up a big blow up Grinch and said put Gretchy on it, big Gretch. Yeah, so they're not very happy with her,
including Matt Stafford's wife.
Yeah, she's not very happy.
Did you guys catch that out in your way by chance?
No, I didn't. Catch
it.
You're talking about the Matt Stafford's wife?
Yeah.
No.
She basically, she went on and like said that like it's hard to live in Michigan under this dictatorship.
Yeah.
And then she did a big Maya culpa about it. And was like, oh.
I mean, her heart was in the right place because she was trying to stick up for small businesses. If you listen to the whole thing, but at the same time, it's like, what are you doing?
The small businesses she doesn't go to.
or support
calling her out for. Yeah, and she's at Target.
And here's a woman who had brain cancer and open surgery. See, I mean, you think she'd want to stay at home, but whatever.
She might be in the high risk category.
Yeah, you just maybe. But what can you do?
We also had a rollback, a further rollback. We had the thing with the dining and whatnot that was on a county by county basis, but now effective yesterday, the entire state. It's not a full stay-at-home order, but all retail stores except for grocery stores, including big box stores, are down to 25% capacity only. Same thing with things like bowling alleys and gyms and that sort of thing. Anything that requires taking a mask off, like beard trimming at hair salons and stuff like that, is prohibited. And it's not for a certain period of time. It's until the percentage in a certain region, the percentage of positive goes down below a certain number for a period of time.
Yeah,
I think
seems to be the case.
We're like over 12% statewide now.
Yeah, and we're supposed to be at 3, I think. Or
yeah, 4 times where they want us to be and stuff. I gotta tell you, like I say, it's sketchy out there. Try to be safe, people, man. I don't know.
And hopefully, whoever's listening still has a job.
Yeah,
and they can pay your bills, but
yeah.
Because it doesn't look like there's going to be any...
and then the government's like rolling back a bunch of financing programs.
I know.
Like, really, man?
I don't think there's going to be any stimulus right now
because
because Trump's pissed at the world.
Yeah.
He's just going to...
PPP.
Yeah, he's taking his ball and going home, man. He's pissed, so...
Yeah, he's like, no one's getting any money. Screw all of you. You cheated me. Side note, we don't talk a lot of politics here, but did you guys see... that thing on the news with Rudy Giuliani when he was screaming and
he's melting like hair a candle.
Melting. What was that?
I gotta tell you, like, and I don't know if you guys have opinions, and if you both have done this, shame on both of you. I don't understand a dude dyeing hair or like who gives a shit if Rudy Giuliani's all gray? Like, you're that vain, Rudy Giuliani, that you're dyeing your hair? Like,
well, if you saw Borat, he likes to hit on the younger chicks, so you got to have dye hair.
Yeah, like they don't know he's 100. Like, oh well, he does have darker hair. Maybe he isn't that.
My
old.
question is, where did he get the hair dye that just melts when you start sweating? I mean, did he go to the dollar store with Bert? Oh, I mean, oops, I'm sorry, not let a name out. Sorry, dollar store with other people we know. I mean, where did
maybe
he
he just had like that spray on GLH stuff.
He had the worst hair dye. He didn't even get just for men. He went for like something else. What's a step below just for men?
I'm pretty sure Rudy Giuliani can get a little higher end.
Yeah,
dye.
well, maybe the hair salons were closed. He had to do it himself.
True. Touche.
So there's that. Now, of course, one of our clients is hair mechanics. So salons are all appointment only. So you can't walk in Charles off the street. Yeah, so gotcha. You have to go online. You have to register, and then go when your time is up for here in Michigan. Anyways,
has this and going around the digital has this current lockdown really affected any of you guys? BV, has it hit you at all?
Not really. I mean, it's a lot of things that I'm not doing a whole lot of anyway. And with it here being just cut down in most cases to 25% capacity, I can find ways to go. Like I went to Walmart this morning looking for one of the things that are on the taste test later. And although it's odd because you would think we were on full lockdown because you go back like to the dairy cooler and milk and almost everything else that's related to dairy is, I mean, it's like empty shelves and stuff. It's, the almost fully empty coolers. So.
Can someone just stop middle-aged white women?
God damn it, Karen, you'll be fine.
My wife's just as guilty. She'll go out and buy as soon as Clorox wipes are coming in, she'll come home 4 or 5 tubes. It's like, why do you have all these? Toilet paper. It's like, oh my God.
You never know, Steve.
Middle-aged white women panic more than anything I've ever seen, and they do most of the shopping.
It sounds like BB's kind of dancing through it. Are you dancing through this? What is your?
It didn't affect me till today. When I went at 5 o'clock to Arbys and the drive-thru line was out because there's no other restaurants to go to. So, because I went down Telegraph to that Arbys, McDonald's, Taco Bell, all of them out the door. Yeah, all the drive-thru lines were ridiculous. So it's like there's no there's no other restaurants to go to, right? I mean, so it's like, oh crap.
Do you guys not have like DoorDash or Grubhub in Michigan or something? I mean,
Yeah, but we're cheap.
Yeah, but I think what I would argue to BV is I think that we don't realize so many people just don't cook at home. Like, that's another big thing, too. So you've got the people who are willing to go out and get it. Then you got the even lazier people who are just Grubhubbing it and stuff. So it's, you got a lot of people to feed in this world, and that's what's crazy.
It's just drive-through lines really are nothing like that here. So
They're crazy here in Michigan.
I went to Arbys, I don't know, about an hour and a half ago, and there were 3 cars.
I went. There's 12 cars in front of me.
Yeah.
It's insane here in Michigan.
I
don't know
had
what
a
it
Taco
is.
Bell today. I had to wait in a massive line at Taco Bell.
Yeah, no more going in doing your trick with the
No,
board.
you can
huh?
go in still.
Oh, you could do it?
Yeah, but I was alone. I figured it'd be too hard to kind of navigate that. But
Now, there's other random things. They said on the news, well, actually, the radio. I heard it on the radio. One of the other things that's been selling out is a certain mouthwash is claiming that their mouthwash will kill the COVID bacteria in your mouth. So I was like, no, that can't be true. So I went to Walmart that morning. Sure shit enough, the whole mouthwash section was wiped
Wow.
out. I don't know what brand it is, or because one of them has a certain ingredient in it that kills it. So I don't know what kind it was, but all I saw was empty shelves at Walmart.
you
so
know what's funny
that's
is
another
like
random
I'm an
one.
OG mouth. I'm a bad flosser. So I've always developed for years now. I'm just a big mouthwash guy, and I don't get too bitched at the dentist. So I'm doing, But like now, I'm like, if I run out, I'm like, dang, I'm out of that mouthwash.
So you may need to do a Michelle and go stack up.
Yeah, wow.
So with the lockdowns, there's one question I had in mind. So high school football is close because that's one of them they were complaining about because our high school playoffs were supposed to be taking place this week. So a lot of kids are upset they couldn't be part of that and stuff like that. So if we can't have outdoor sports or any kind of sports, how come the Big Ten's still allowed to play?
There's a lot
How
of
come the MAC's
caveats.
still allowed to play?
There's a lot of it. It's just you got that money, man. It's
Yeah,
all it
I guess,
boils
yeah,
down
that's
to.
true.
It's not. It just shows you the corruption of it. And then, but what the Democrats and people who think that they're doing stuff right, like liberals and Democrats, you're feeding the fuel of the Republicans because they're like, okay, like you just said. So logically, if I look at this and go, you can let these guys play, but you can't let these guys. Oh, well, one is rich and one isn't. Yeah. So we see who's lining your pockets. Yeah. It just makes the other teams kind of, point for them when you put them up on a tee like that.
And right now, Michigan's probably hoping they do get shut down.
In Illinois, we never opened high school football up.
No?
Like, there were no fall high school sports.
Oh,
it was a big deal, but they never opened it up.
Wow. Surprised. Well, we got to the playoff part here in Michigan, and then right before they let them all in, they canceled it all. So
I got to tell you, so you're kind of rolling your way into the college football. I haven't even turned on a TV for college football today. I saw a quick ESPN update of the Big Ten matchup that happened this morning, or kind of early afternoon rather, and there's just nothing on. There's
not a lot
no
of good
games, man.
The games are a little rough this week. So before we get to that, of course, we always like to cover the Thursday night NFL game. Full disclosure, I didn't make it to the whole game. I fell asleep at half. That shows you what a wild and crazy guy I am. Arizona 21, Seattle 28. But from what I understand, Seattle did not score 4 touchdowns. They had like a weird safety and some field goals. So they kind of – it came down to the wire, though, because there was Arizona had the ball back. I saw the highlights with 30 seconds left. And then on 4th and 10, they got sacked, and it was over. So it looks like Seattle's on the fast track to win the NFC West. Any thoughts on the game, either one of you?
I am much like you. I didn't even catch it. I tell you all the time, I struggle with them Thursday night games. I got to go to bed. I'm an old man. Yeah. I got to go to bed. BV?
I fell asleep. I think I made it to the beginning of the fourth quarter.
Well, you win.
And it was not the best game. Neither team's defense is really good at all. A lot of offense shooting itself in the foot and a lot of bad defensive penalties. And it just, I thought it would be a better game than it was. And actually, I kind of thought Arizona might win that game. But so I didn't see the business end of that game like you. So
I gotta tell you guys, like, here's the crazy part. Seattle's a good team, but I don't know how they win the craziest ways possible.
Yeah, they do.
It's just not sustainable, right? Like, there's just no way. Like, I don't know. Like, it's such
They got to get a
weird
running back that
team.
can stay healthy for longer than 5 minutes.
And they're so far removed from Legion of Boom. It's not funny. That defense is just porous as all
Hey,
hell.
you two shut your ass, because in our episode of the pregame of the preview of the NFL, I picked them to go to the Super Bowl. So both of you two shut your asses.
I don't know. I'm just saying that Seattle team.
I know.
One week they just look like world
And who'd you pick,
beaters.
the Eagles?
And yeah, no,
So
for
be
real.
quiet about
what do
Seattle.
I know about football?
Yeah, we picked teams from the NFL least. So,
Oh, yeah, the Cowboys. I forgot about them. So
Yeah,
at least
we're
I
not
still
a-
got a shot. Keep winning with your cheese.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I gotta tell you, it's just that Seahawks team. Every time I watch them, like Russell Wilson, just there's 22 guys on the field. You can't win it with one. It's not possible.
Seattle, go
if he
Hawks.
gets jock-ish, they're done.
Yeah. Yeah, if he goes out for any period of time, they're screwed. I don't even who is their backup. I don't know. I think it's Matt
I'm not
Hasselbeck.
sure they have one.
Matt
It's a
Hasselbeck.
Hasselbeck.
He leaves the ESPN pregame show and comes and takes over for him while he's out. So there you go. A little look at the NFL Thursday night game. It seemed good, but from what Bill is saying, it's actually not. Now this week we're going to go back into college. Happened today. Charles said he didn't watch much.
Yeah, I didn't watch much. I'm going to go tell Heather to warm up Thanksgiving
Yeah,
dinner.
me and Bill will cover some college. Now, the biggest thing was they said 16 games were postponed or canceled this week, Bill. That's fucking insane, right?
Well, yeah, and Clemson, Florida State was canceled hours before the game. I mean, it wasn't canceled, or it wasn't postponed until this morning.
Yeah, Clemson, Florida State didn't get canceled till today. The day of the game, it got canceled. And then the other big games that got
who
canceled.
pulled the plug on that?
I think it was
curiously
Florida
enough?
State.
Okay.
Yeah,
MSU, Maryland. I guess the whole Maryland team got sick. Yeah. They got it, and then Texas, Kansas was the other big game. And there's a lot more. There's like Utah was something, but those were the three biggest that I saw on the list that was canceled. But they're struggling, man. But and it was weird today. So the highlight was Ohio State versus Indiana. That's probably the best game.
And it was a noon kickoff.
It was
a
noon.
really early. It's that old school Big Ten, way too early in the day thing.
It wasn't as exciting as the final score leads you to be. It ended up being 42-35.
Oh wow!
But
It was
Ohio
garbage
State,
time?
Ohio State kind of took control. It was 28-7 at the half, and then they eased up a little bit in the second half. Indiana kept creeping back. Indiana kept shooting themselves in the foot. They'd throw a pick, or the one I saw, Ohio State guy threw a pick on 3rd and short. The Indiana guy ran it back, and the guy hit and fumbled, and then Ohio State got it back and got a first down. So it's just Indiana did so many dumb things to shoot themselves in the foot. But what did you think of the game? Did you watch it, Bill?
you know what? I didn't watch much of it at all. But Indiana did have the ball at the end of the game with a chance to tie, and
Yeah, they couldn't do
I
it.
think a big sack or something that kind of ruined the whole thing. But yeah,
It was very
I don't know if
lackluster in
that's
the
anything
first
about-
3 quarters. Fourth quarter is when the game got kind of exciting.
Well, I mean, what is the Steve BV opinion on this Indiana football program? Do you think
They're
they turned
scrappy.
a corner, or what do you guys think? Or is it just one of those Northwestern good years? Where
no, I think they've turned a corner, and then what will happen is they'll be really good this year, and then a school will come calling for their coach.
poach
yeah,
everything
they'll
out of
poach
that
their coach, and then
program,
they'll go
yeah.
right back to
he'll
crap.
be at U of M next
yeah,
year.
yeah, like, damn it, we had him. Bill, your
the other
thoughts?
thing. Well, the other, I think you're probably right about turning the corner, but with the way this year is, it's so hard to tell. I mean, they're not playing the normal. I mean, they're playing the conference schedule, but the competition's weird. They're not getting a lot
Thank
of,
you.
they're playing teams that haven't had it's everything's kind of upside down this year. So I think they've turned the corner, but who the hell knows?
Yeah. Now, the other game that was on right before the podcast, it was Wisconsin Northwestern. This was 14-7 Northwestern, and it was a
Final
punt
score
fest.
17-7 Northwestern.
Oh, so Northwestern pulls it out. It's funny because Wisconsin looked so dominant against Michigan last week, and they come out here against Northwestern, and they look terrible. I mean, they were missing
Well,
passes.
Wisconsin only played 2 games this year. I mean,
Yeah,
they're really,
this
with all
is
the
their third
COVID
game.
rules,
Yeah,
it's
so-
really kooky.
So they lose. Northwestern wins. Now there's a big game tonight, and Bill, I know you already did your picks, but man, I would take this one in a heartbeat. On the radio, they said Michigan is favored by 12 over Rutgers. I would take Rutgers.
You really think they're going to shit the bet against
No,
Rutgers?
I don't think they're going to lose to Rutgers, but I think they're only going to
Is
win
it
like
tighter than-
27-24.
Yeah, tighter than they
yeah,
want it to be.
no,
kinda
they're going to
thing.
cover
Yeah.
12 at Rutgers when
There
they
is
haven't done anything all year.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I kind of like Rutgers in
Yeah,
this
but
one
this is the
with the
kind of
spread.
like they'll oddly beat up on them by like 63-3. And
Yeah.
they're like, okay, we're righting the ship. Like,
Bill, your thoughts on that?
Where's the game?
I think it's in Rutgers. Don't quote me on that, but I think it is.
Yeah, it's. I remember at the beginning of the season too. Who did they start the season with? And we were talking about, well, maybe this is a Minnesota.
Yeah,
And Minnesota
yeah.
was ranked, and thought, I think I even picked Minnesota in the game. They went out and kind of just handled Minnesota. I wouldn't be surprised either way. I think this is not really making a pick because I don't know that I have one, but I think it's going to be either one of what you two said. It's either going to be a real tight game that's closer than it should be, and they eke out like a 4-point win, or they just completely unload on Rutgers and beat them by 40 or more.
Yeah, my money's on that. I really do think it's going to be like, like Harbaugh beating up on like a little kid because he got his ass beat. Like, I'm still tough. Like,
I don't know. Rutgers is scrappy, and I like that 12 points. I'm not saying they're going to win, but within 12, it might happen, but we'll see. And so, I mean, is there any other highlights, really? I mean, the late game
It's a
is
rough
Michigan
week.
and Rutgers. I don't think Notre Dame plays today.
They didn't. They're idle.
Yeah, they're idle. I think they play North Carolina next week.
Yes, they do.
That
Mac Brown program.
yeah,
Don't sleep on that.
That should be a pretty good game.
And then that should take Notre Dame through. I was looking at this. Then they have Syracuse and Wake Forest.
yeah, Syracuse just got pounded.
In theory,
By
we
somebody.
get past the Mac Brown program and don't have any hiccups. We should see sunshine in the championship.
Now, Alabama was up 14-3 on Kentucky. Is that over now?
They won something like 63-3.
Yeah, there's
And they harballed that
one
program.
game tonight that I think is the ranked teams playing each other. There's Oklahoma
oh yeah,
State.
Bedlam. They were talking about that on the.
Yeah, but
And I
that's
thought, who cares?
What's that, the Red River rivalry or
Yeah.
whatever that is?
No, that's Oklahoma and Texas.
Oh,
So
sorry. I don't
Bedlam.
Bedlam is Oklahoma
Let me
State.
get my rivalries together.
The mullet.
It's two very average teams playing in primetime is what it is.
Yeah, so the primetime games aren't even that great, so you're not missing much this week.
It's a rough week for college football.
I know there's some UFC on because it starts at like 4 in the afternoon and goes till about 3 a.m. because they were promoting that.
We'll talk
on
about that,
ESPN.
but I got to tell you. So I'm going to talk about this a little later, a little tickle of the ass here. But that card looks terrible. I'm telling you, I don't know who's dropping the $65 or whatever is required.
that's-
We'll go over some of those marquee events. One of the three kind of decent names that didn't make weight. It's a bad. I'm curious. I'm going to find for next week the buys on that one because I'm curious.
All right, so that's a look at a little preview of UFC and the college. Like I said, 16 games postponed. Tomorrow's the NFL, of course. So I did not write any good matchups down. That's my fault. But I know the Lions are playing Carolina with no McCaffrey, and Bridgewater's kind of banged up. So the Lions are probably going to win this one. And it'll be the only game on at 1 o'clock. So there we go.
I got to tell you, I think that, and I'm going to touch on this a little bit in my reviews and thoughts and stuff like that. I think that we had a bit of what was in the can, and I think COVID is just catching up on everything.
Yeah.
It's at this point it's permeating sports deeply. It's causing a lot of rifts there.
Yeah.
We're getting a bad products happening there. A lot of my entertainment choices, and again, I'll touch on this a little bit later. We're starting to get that impact of oh man, people couldn't produce, maybe people couldn't practice. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, we got some issues.
So, and a side note, I know people don't tune in for my stock advice, but
Oh,
I bought
go ahead, Jim Cribber. Roll your sleeves
Oh,
up.
I did a bad.
Bye.
I'm telling you.
I got Pfizer stock for $36 a share.
man.
I bought 10 shares
Yeah,
of Pfizer.
well.
So if that vaccine hits good,
I got logged in on
maybe
mine.
I'll make some money.
I don't know since I last talked, but I got my online portal. They're supposed to hit me up to schedule my vaccine trial. The Johnson & Johnson vaccine trial. I'm supposed
So
to be
next
getting-
podcast, Charles will have a third eye. Just so everyone
Yeah, I
knows.
can't wait. I'm super stoked. The big talk is that Johnson & Johnson is going to undercut the other ones too because it's a one-shot deal without major refrigeration. I was reading an article on that, so we'll see. But the efficacy and the effectiveness of these vaccines, man, it's going to be. I think that we're going to get back to normal here in a little while. I really do.
Excellent. Now who's being positive? See, you say call me
I'm gonna be
Mr.
positive,
I
Optimistic.
sure
yeah.
the hell hope you're right.
And BB's just in the same camp, come on, baby.
All right, as we know, this week is Thanksgiving week, so Charles, start up with the eggnog. Put a little
Okay.
juice in there, not a ton. I'm not a huge eggnog fan. You gonna fill up a giant glass with that eggnog?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say Jesus. So we're having our pre-show mini Thanksgiving meal here, and by doing that, Bill also, I believe, got it. Did you get the sandwich, Bill?
I got the sandwich. I didn't see the waffle fries. It must have been a late add to the list.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
And I'm not a big fan of sweet potato fries.
Oh,
anyway,
me either. I'm
so.
gonna eat like 2 bites of that and be like, okay, that's enough of that. So we got the deep fried turkey club sandwich. That's a mouthful from Arbys. So it's got cheddar cheese, lettuce, tomato, deep fried turkey, and bacon with a little bit of mayonnaise. And we also got the sweet potato waffle fries just because we're trying to emulate a Thanksgiving meal. And to wash it all down, we've got Fireball Eggnog. So it's eggnog where you put a little bit of Fireball whiskey in it. And apparently Charles put a lot of Fireball whiskey in it.
I split the little shot.
Oh, okay. So we got. I'm not a huge fan of eggnog.
I'll put you on the main here. We'll go to the main for everything there.
Yeah.
Go ahead and pimp that. Show people that I'm a little obsessed with my weight and my calories right now. So 1 cup, 280
Holy
calories
shit.
out of that nog.
It is 39 grams of sugar.
Steve
I'm not
will
going to drink a
die.
lot of this.
So this is only half a serving of that eggnog with a Fireball
that's probably
shot
good.
split amongst the two of them.
Yeah, Fireball. It was a couple bucks. It's at Walmart. They also have Southern Comfort eggnog. It's all these different eggnog.
So they basically have pimped a bunch of different ones.
But the funny thing is, none of them come with alcohol in
It
them.
smells like cinnamon death in this thing, boy. I'll tell you that. I don't know if it's the Fireball
Cinnamon.
whiskey or
Cinnamon
what.
tried to kill me.
If you like cinnamon, boy, this is your stuff. So 140 calories. I think it tastes pretty good.
Yeah, there's a lot of cinnamon.
Tastes like a lot of cinnamon, though. Tastes pretty good, though.
And ironically,
have-
I forgot my cinnamon pills today. I was going to bring
Oh,
them.
yeah.
They said if you take cinnamon, Bill, as a diabetic, cinnamon naturally attacks glucose in your body and helps lower your sugar levels. So I bought cinnamon pills, but don't take them on an empty stomach. They fuck you up.
That was delicious. I'm going to give that a huge thumbs up. That's a half a serving of...
Yeah, well, I mean, it's pure sugar.
That's only half a serving, so you only got 20 or
I
whatever.
barely
it is.
taste the alcohol. That funny, that little shot of alcohol they had at 7-Eleven on the counter. It was
Yeah,
like
there's-
$2.
Steve, you're a big fan of Fireball whiskey,
I do
right?
like it. It goes down pretty easy. The problem with Fireball whiskey, everyone, well, if you're a real man, you're like, you don't drink no Fireball whiskey. What are you, a chick? If you're a Brandon Wigington of the world or whatever. But he likes it too. He was drinking it. Fireball whiskey, you can drink a whole bottle of this. We just got a little bit
That
for the
stuff tasted really good. I don't know. I'm gonna give that a huge thumbs up. What do you think? You gonna give
Yeah,
that
I
a
liked
thumbs
it.
up?
I can't drink it a lot because that's a lot of sugar.
Give it a small little 4-ounce glass. It's really tasty.
Now we have the sandwich, and Bill has the sandwich as well. As you can see, this is the tray. It doesn't look anything like the poster. Mine looks like it's been stepped on. And then we got some really,
So what is the rub on this? Is it
some really moist sweet potato.
Yeah, these boys look like Steve's going. You got these at Arbys, right?
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you. Hopefully they taste better fresh. Room tempy ones. Oof.
No, Michelle had them fresh, and she said they were dry and terrible then
Oh,
too.
really?
Yeah. But I got a regular.
Fries with the sandwich.
What are your thoughts on the sandwich?
What do you got there, BB?
Sandwich is pretty good.
So this is a deep fried turkey, which is all the rage amongst, Thanksgiving aficionados. Got some bacon. Looks like some cheese.
Oh yeah, that's good.
What do you got? Lettuce, tomato. You got mayo on this thing or something?
Sandwich really good. You can keep those waffle fries. Those are terrible.
It's messy though.
You think that sandwich is messy, BB?
Well, yeah, I guess the mayo is just like dripping off the bottom. It's very watery.
I don't have that issue, but it could be because ours is kind of room temp. I gotta tell you,
Ours was from 2 hours ago.
that's a
Oh,
little
fine. Mine's
you
room
say?
temp too.
Yours is a little room tempy.
Yeah, maybe we should.
Yeah.
We start moving the taste test to the first part of the podcast.
Yeah, I don't know. We need snacks beforehand. I like it. I gotta tell you, these sweet potato waffle fries are awful.
You keep eating them.
And I gotta tell you, this sandwich. How much you pay for this sandwich now?
Here it was $5.35 for one sandwich.
$5.99 here.
But it's pretty good. Now, Arby's always has it for a limited time. So I'm going to guess probably December 1st it's going to go away.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to try the deep fried turkey club sandwich,
I gotta tell you, they took turkey, man. It tastes really tasty. Arby's is so good. Can
I
we
love a good-
discuss the Arby's?
can I talk about my unnatural love of turkey sandwiches? Arby's is good. What's the go-to if it's not something new and special? What's the go-to Arby's order for you guys?
BB?
Excuse me. Beef and cheddars, or when they have, I don't know if they still have, I used to love the subs. I don't know if they still do those, but usually beef and cheddars.
Yeah. The subs were kind of like the Italian dip ones they have, but they also had an Italian sub-like one. But I think that's long since been gone, though, Bill.
Yeah, they had a
I
ham
think they
and cheese
replaced
one
them with the
too.
Market Fresh stuff.
Yeah.
Now, I like the Market Fresh sandwiches, but boy, are they expensive. They're like $7 a sandwich.
Every once in a while, they'll go on 2 for $6 for like a real short period of time, but
This thing is awesome. I want to make sure we're all on the same page. This,
yeah, this sandwich is good.
dude. BB, did you house yours already? You down?
Oh yeah, it's gone.
BB's gone. I got a bite or two left. And again, I'm obsessing because I'm trying to lose some lbs. How many calories you guys think is in this? Because I know exactly how many's in it.
1,000.
I'm gonna guess 1275.
540?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's it?
With the mayo?
Wait, that can't be right.
Bill doesn't trust you. He's looking it up.
It's turkey. And that when I plugged it into MyFitnessPal earlier today, because I knew you said we were doing it, 540 according to MyFitnessPal.
Nice. Now I really justify it. Can't justify that fucking eggnog, but I can justify that. So, like
I'm
I
sorry
was
to chew in
saying,
everyone's ears, but that's awesome.
Holy shit. It is 540 calories.
all three of us are going to eat turkey sandwiches for the next week.
It's so good.
You're like, I'm so sick of turkey sandwiches.
Oh my God, that boy. Hey, they made turkey taste good as hell. That's a good sandwich.
Be back for more tomorrow, I think.
Going around the room, I think it's all a huge
Oh,
thumbs
that's a
up.
9.
Yeah.
But the sweet potato fries are a 1. Those, you keep
BV,
those.
you going to give it a thumbs up?
About double thumbs up.
Yeah,
It's
I
good.
mean, and that thing's awesome. That's a huge thumbs up. Sweet potato fries, avoid.
Yeah, don't get those.
It rounded out a good Thanksgiving meal. Good idea by Steve, but yeah, avoid that.
Oh, that was good. That was definitely. Now, I have an unnatural love for turkey.
Yeah, you do. You really do.
So here's a funny one. I think it was, what's today? Today's Saturday, so Thursday night. Holly is getting a late night munchies, and she wants some cupcakes. So she goes, I want Dad, let's go to Kroger. Come on, we'll go to Kroger. And I got her a little package of red velvet cupcakes or whatever. In the deli, they had a pre-cooked turkey breast. I bought that shit. $7.
It tastes good?
It's a deep fried turkey breast.
Oh, okay.
So I got home, sliced it up, put it in a container, and then Friday for lunch, I had my butter and turkey sandwich. And guess what I had?
I thought you said you were good all week.
Well, except for that.
You had a butter and turkey sandwich.
Well, it's that fake butter. It's I don't know if that counts.
Like, I can't believe it's not butter.
Yeah, Country Crock, I think it was. But it was good.
Country, wait, but Country Crock.
No,
is
I
not
don't
like-
know.
Yeah, Steve,
It's
don't
the,
wanna go-
it's the margarine, right? It's the fake
it's
one. I know
margarine.
it's the fake one.
Imperial or whatever.
Yeah, it's not the real butter, but
That was good, man.
I love a good
Kudos
turkey
to
sandwich.
Arby's.
And
Steve.
at Subway, I'll get a turkey sandwich, a turkey sub all the time. I do like a good. Everyone, you guys rip who eats turkey outside of Thanksgiving? I'm like me all the time. I love turkey.
I like turkey. I'll definitely eat a turkey sandwich, but I got a boar's head love. That maple turkey from Boar's Head's delicious.
Oh yeah, it's good stuff. It's
Yeah,
good
it's
stuff.
Head is
really
the
good.
for cold cuts.
What's that, BB?
As far as cold cuts go, Boar's Head is the shit.
Yeah, it really is. It
One
really
of them has a
quality.
honey ham too. With
Probably similar taste.
yeah, that's really
it's
good too.
good,
man.
man.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Oh, my god.
But I gotta tell you, Arby's knocked it out of the park, son. You got the meats, and it is good.
Yeah, that is a good Arby's
That is
sandwich.
a good sandwich.
But if that was a regular
Steve
menu,
vomits
I
on
know I
it.
just barf it up.
You might randomly get that as a regular.
Yeah,
menu
that
item.
might be a once a week Steve thing.
Yeah, that's really good.
But Charles told me it's only 540
He's
calories.
got to pick the chunks
Like
off.
so
And
the
I'll
line.
blow chunks on the mic. So big thumbs up. I love when a taste test doesn't gag us.
Yeah,
so-
really, but I tell you, those sweet potato fries, huge mess.
Yeah,
Avoid those.
Well, Michelle's had those at a restaurant before. I forget what restaurant. It might have been like a Red Robin or something.
Well, they're very trendy right now.
I don't like them
potato
even
fries.
like fresh at a restaurant. They're not good. It's like, what do you dip them in? They're sweet, so it's like you don't want to put them in ketchup. Are you supposed to have like a cinnamon sauce or something?
I just kind of eat them.
They're
Whenever
just
I
gross.
have.
I don't like them. But they throw you off. It's like, oh, it's a fry. It should be salty and good, but it's
They
sweet.
also throw you off on this like basis of like try to pretend like they're healthy too. It's like
Yeah.
these motherfuckers, you still deep fry a potato. What are you talking
yeah,
about?
no, just a different form
Yeah.
of potato.
I don't know, but yeah, that huge kudos to the friggin' Arby's.
Yeah.
Stop your ass by and pick that up. Apparently in Chicago, you can roll right through the drive-through there.
Yeah. Don't come in Michigan, maybe not, but
Yeah, wow.
if you're in Illinois, hit the drive-through.
So you got some game stuff?
Yeah, all right. So now we got reviews this week. I didn't watch a lot of television. Of course, I watched the Fxxcks, and I watched The Mandalorian and my ongoing shows. But I did play a lot of video games. And number one up on the list, the big one this fall, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And I got to tell you, it feels a lot and looks a lot like the History Show channel.
Oh, they really leaned hard into the
Even the
Vikings.
main guy's blonde haired, blue eyed. Even looks like Ragnarok or
whatever
Lothbrok.
whatever.
His name's Lothbrok. And it even ties a little bit into that heritage. So you start in Norway, and then eventually from
do
Norway
raids and
you
stuff
go
like-
over to England and you start making a
settlement.
settlement there. And it even mentions Lothbrok and his sons have already been there and stuff like that.
Is there any of the voice actors or anything? How hard are they leaning into the like the Vikings lineage and all that kind of stuff?
A little bit. It's like a broken English kind of like, but not super bad.
You really liked that show though, didn't you?
I did until they killed the main guy. Spoilers,
Yeah,
and I was like,
yeah.
I'm out. So you know, so it's good, but there's some jank. There's some first world jank, and there's a couple things I don't like about it. So I'll tell you, it's a big world. You can spend hours upon hours upon hours in this damn thing. Really, really did away with a lot of that.
The
futuristic-
animus stuff is gone, I
There's
hope.
one
Yeah.
scene you get, and that's it. And the rest of it's
And the Animus is a guy in real life or in current present day
Who's
somehow
tapping
being
into their
genealogy.
ancestry,
Has to do.
And the
with
big
it.
thing now with Assassin's Creed, you can pick to be a female or a male when it comes to the Vikings. I just took the male because he's on the cover. I was like, all right, I'm gonna take that guy. He's on the cover. And you get a lot of weapons, and in old Assassin's Creed, you get shitload of weapons, and you got to trade them all in for more money. So you're constantly. This one you don't. You get a lot less, and then you just take the weapons you have and upgrade them, which is I like a lot better than having to cycle through garbage on your inventory every 2 seconds. That's kind of nice. But the things are there's some glitches and there's some bad glitches. So there's a new.
What? Wait. Well, what platform did you play it on?
I played it on PS4 on my PS4 Pro.
Okay.
So there is a whole new segment now because you're a Viking. It's called raids. So you could pull up to like a monastery or something. You hit the raid button. You and all your boys, you just raid villages.
And just pillage.
Pillage.
Yeah.
But you don't kill any civilians. That's
Okay.
a little bit of a break from real history, but okay, I get it. But you kill the soldiers and stuff, and you pill. So on certain parts of when you're pillaging, you need 2 people to open the big like war chest like thing. It glitches a lot. Like I'll be hitting the button,
Someone
my guy
will
will
come
just sit there and
along.
shake,
Oh, okay.
and so I have to either reload it or
And then
try to go.
redo the raid, kind of.
Yeah, I have to redo the whole raid, and that's happened 2 or 3 times.
Oh, wow.
This isn't just a one-time thing. It's usually glitches if they're just once, whatever. But this is 2 or 3 times, and there's a couple of scenes like that where I've had to reload stuff because what you're doing just isn't loading right. It's kind of weird. And I thought this is almost a week and a half after it came out that it'd be patched by now, and that hasn't happened yet. So they're a little slow.
How are we looking graphics wise? Because I know that
That was
there's
the other thing I was
there's
gonna
the
bring up.
cross-gen stuff with it
Yeah,
and everything.
it looks good. It's solid
Where's
in
the
game, but so God of War, which came out in what 2018, 2017?
No, the new one?
Yeah,
It's
2018.
2019. It's got to be.
No, I think it's 2018.
You think it's 2 years ago?
Yeah,
Nonetheless, it's not that old.
that game looked better.
Yeah, but that game's not open world.
Kinda a little bit, but-
The way that God of War works, though, is they kind of give you a theater to
Yeah.
kind of like they would like close you.
Well,
in.
I'm just saying it's the same kind of. So that was Norse Viking
It's
mythology,
a very, yeah, I get what you're saying.
especially because like the beard, like Kratos' beard and stuff. This one-
further, that God of War game is beautiful.
The hair and beards on this is not wrestling bad, but it's not God of War level, somewhere in between.
I would be curious to see like what it would look like on your PC. Or
Yeah,
the next gen.
I bet you on the PC or next gen it looks a little better. But as far as if I'm putting apples to apples of God of War on PS4 Pro and this on PS4 Pro, God of War looked better. I can't even lie, it looks better. It just did. It was more beautiful. Plus, they had a lot more development time because these Assassin's Creeds are cranked out every 2 or 3 years. So, but I'm not saying it's a bad looking game. It's still a solid looking game. It's just that the other thing I have to give it a knockdown on. There is a lot of goddamn loading times. You are waiting. It's loading and load. Like there's a lot
Crunching away, huh?
Yeah. So there's a lot of the one thing Assassin's Creed does that I wish a lot of other open world things is a lot of fast travel. So I don't have to sit there and ride my goddamn horse for 30 minutes. But the problem is the fast travel is a new loading scene, and it's like a minute and a half loading. It's almost 2 minutes. It's like, wow, let me go get a snack. There you go. So the loading's a little rough. There's a lot of glitches, and the graphics aren't as good as God of War. The other complaint is some of the side quests are just stupid. They're just stupid.
I would argue that's Assassin's Creed, though.
Yeah. Well, these. Okay, so you would argue the old Assassin's Creed are a little repetitive. Like there's a woman down in a sewer somewhere, and you have to help her. You have to kill these snakes and give her these eggs. And you give her the eggs, and what does she do? She lets a giant fart. That's the whole side quest. There's another side quest.
Is it made to be like cheeky like that?
Not only that part of the game. The rest of the game's like serious. So, and then there's another side quest where this woman's sitting by the lake and she lost her comb, and you and 3 other suitors are trying to find the comb. First one to find it gets to spend the night with her. And that was a side quest. It's like the side quests are weird. So I stick to the main missions.
So they're varied, but like varied like terribly.
Yeah, they're kind of terrible. The main missions are good. Basically, you're trying to. So England's broken up into 5 or 6 kingdoms. You're trying to get alliances with all the different kingdoms.
And you work toward that.
Yeah,
basically.
and you're building your village at the same time. So you make so much money, you can put up a bar, or you can put up barracks and stuff like that. So all that is pretty good, and I'm not going to argue with that. But there are a lot of little jank and the weird side quests. So if I rate it, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10 right now.
Okay, so
going in, I was hoping it was an 8 or 9.
My question to you would be this: like, so is it? Are you happy with the departure and what seems like the pivot in the series? Do you think that maybe by the second or third version of the Valhalla,
I think they don't even need the Assassin's Creed name at this point.
Yeah,
they could just be War History or something, a Valhalla.
They
or something
should have
like
just created like a Valhalla series.
Because even in this, the stealth is kind of shitty because you're a big lumbering Viking,
so
and guards see you constantly. Yeah. It's terrible.
Okay.
I mean, you can keep upgrading that part, and there's only 2 assassins in the whole game. They kind of introduce a little bit from the other old games, like so you can kind of help them if you want, but you don't even have to do the assassin stuff. You can just keep doing the Viking stuff and stuff like that. So it's almost pointless. But I know why they slapped the name on it because they want that recognition to buy it and stuff like that. Eventually, they need to do like what Bill Walsh football did back in the day. Remember, it was Bill Walsh. Bill will remember because he's old like I am. It was Bill Walsh college football for 2 or 3 years, and eventually they just pivoted off and became NCAA football. This needs to do that. Just drop Assassin's Creed and start
just
going.
Become the Valhalla.
Ubisoft War Heroes or something like that. You don't need the Assassin's Creed part at this point. But
let me ask the question then too. So would you consider this a disappointment for what is pretty much the last like hurrah of this year? Besides the Call of Duty, this is really the main game that people were kind of waiting for because Cyberpunk's still being stupid and everything.
I don't know if it's a disappointment because you're going to easily spend 60 hours on this game, so that's
a good value. Yeah.
But if I had to choose between this or that samurai game that came out over the summer,
Ghost of Tsushima,
I like better. And I never thought that. I thought I would always like Vikings better than samurais, but I like the Ghost of Tsushima a little better. And it's about the same amount of time. So, not a bad game.
But if you're going to get this on PS4, you would argue make sure you've played Ghost of Tsushima before you play this particular game. Yeah, is definitely your point.
And this is way
better. If you can get one for Christmas, go that route.
And if you had a choice between this or Watchdog Legions, I'm going to take this.
Okay.
Just because I like the setting and stuff way better than hacking stuff all the time. So
you're going to get into another piece of DLC, but like, what is Steve's game of 2020 if you were to argue that? And Madden doesn't count.
No, I know. Even Madden wouldn't be it. God, see, the best game I've played this year that came out this year. See, Mortal Kombat 11 didn't come out this year. It came out last year. So that one doesn't count. Ghost of Tsushima. There's Last of Us Part 2, right? I'm gonna go with Ghost of Tsushima because I
What
like
about Half-Life Alyx would be in that? 2020 is a Half-Life Alyx.
Yeah, but I liked Half-Life Alyx. Don't get me wrong, and I liked Last of Us Part 2, but I liked that samurai. It felt fresh.
It was that good, huh?
Yeah, because I haven't played a samurai game since PS2 with the Capcom one. I can't think of the name of it right off the top of my head. But
Onimusha?
Onimusha, yep, that's it.
Yeah.
So it felt a lot more fresh. Where Last of Us 2 was okay, and then they killed off the main character, and it kind of went on a little too long. And the same with Half-Life Alyx. It was good. It was solid, but it gets a little annoying at Half-Life Alyx when I can see where I got to go. It's only a block away, and I got to go through 37 tunnels to go up here, down and around.
So your game right now of 2020 is going to be Ghost of Tsushima.
Most likely. I can't think of anything else that might have came out. That's Now, there's still Miles Morales Spider-Man that's out. I haven't played that yet. There's the Call of Duty. Now, honorable mention would be Call of Duty Modern Warfare. That was actually one of the best.
You had a blast with it.
Probably one of the best Call of Duty, even without my buddies playing online stuff. Probably one of the best Call of Duties I played in probably about 6-7 years. So, Ghost of Tsushima.
So, but if you're young Steve and your parents say, "What game do you want for Christmas this year?" You're telling everyone who has a PS4 Pro,
and I don't have any other games.
Yeah.
Well, see, I'd be young Steve. Ghost of Tsushima is going to be cheap on Black Friday, so I'll try to get a couple other games.
I'm saying you get one game, chubby young Steve.
Yeah, one that is Ghost of Tsushima. Okay. That's probably it. But Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you want to be a Viking, and it's got that cool like Viking music, like when you raid. So that's kind of cool. And then when you're on your boat going places, your guys can sing or they'll tell war stories and stuff. So
they fleshed it out for the whole like look and feel.
Yeah,
to me, I think I would agree with you. It smells of a game that probably should have just been left on its own. Is what it sounds like. You don't even put the Assassin's Creed banner on it.
The Assassin's Creed part's kind of shoehorned in.
Yeah, it really is weird.
I mean, you still get the blade, like when the assassin.
There's no reason you couldn't have called it like Norsemen of Valhalla or something like that and just kept it moving.
You could have. It really. But they're afraid to get away from that name because that's IP recognition, stuff like that. Now, this next one, you're going to love it, Charles. $15. It was a download for Mortal Kombat 11. And I'm a sucker for these 2D fighting games. And I realize you're the one that got me back into fighting games. Because remember, you bought that fight stick for Street Fighter 4.
Stick,
And then I immediately got hooked. I'm like, fuck, I went home and went crazy on it. You went away. I just went deep dive into it. I was like, thanks, asshole.
It's a great way to play them. It's much like when you break out like a Thrustmaster joystick for playing any kind of racing games and stuff like that. It's a great way to play them.
So the debut of Rain, Melina, and who gives a shit about them? John Rambo shows up in Mortal Kombat 11.
So this is movie character number what that's in this DLCs? 3 or 4, right?
Yeah. So the Joker, he's been in movies. Spawn's been in movies. RoboCop, Terminator, and now John Rambo.
Okay.
I gotta say he's a lot of fun. He does a fucking bear crawl. And he grabbed their ankle and slit their Achilles tendons. It's pretty crazy. So $15. Now they're not part of the story mode.
That's fine.
You could just use them.
You more can of a skin with actions attached to it.
Yeah, and you can win arcade mode, and it gives you an ending. Like John Rambo realizes he doesn't want to redo history and stuff like that. And out of the 3, I like, of course, Rambo hands down the best. But Rain actually has the best, easiest move set. Like his moves are a lot easier to pull off. And then Melina, I don't like her at all. She has a huge online following.
It's weirdly that dudes attached to certain characters.
Yeah.
Like that. It's very big in the Street Fighter community, too, where it's like all of a sudden they just like, okay.
Yeah, and it's always like a female character that all these dudes are stuck on. But Rambo's a lot of fun. So there's 3 different versions of him. There is, by default, is the one from the Rambo 1 where he has the tarp like he made out of it. Then there's Rambo 2 with the black tank top and the black pants. Then there's Rambo 3 where he has no shirt on, just a headband. Dude, so you get to be the...
Sounds like they're pretty irreverent with the way they designed it.
Sylvester Stallone plays his voice.
Oh, man.
So you actually get clips of him
What'd
talking.
you pay for this DLC?
It's $15.
Okay.
So you're looking at about $5 a character. It's about right. And you also get some extra costumes and stuff for other characters and stuff. But I didn't care about that. I just cared about John Rambo.
Yeah.
So he starts the match out. He's always in a pile of leaves. like he's camouflaged, and he gets up and he's got the leaves like strapped and he takes them off.
Oh,
He's always got one of his knife,
Bowie,
his giant
yeah,
knife.
yeah, that'd be
Most of
nice.
his fights from the so one of his moves is his bow and arrow. You can do it's a quarter circle triangle, and then the other one I
With
really
the exploding arrows, dude.
yeah, you got to hit the R1 at the same time and do it. That's a little trickier to pull off, but yeah, it does work. And the best move he's got is quarter circle in the other way on triangle. He pulls out with the M60 from the ground. It's like in a pile of leaves. He just picks it up out of nowhere, just blowing everybody down.
Man, it sounds really cool.
Oh, it's pretty awesome. And then some of his other moves are hidden traps. Like you hit quarter circle and circle. And it's one of those like bamboo traps.
The bungee,
yeah,
the
shoots
bungee
up and hits the
sticks.
guy.
Yeah, okay.
He's got another move where he knocks him into a pit and throws grenades on them while they're in the ground.
man. Sounds really
It's
cool.
ultra violent. There's blood everywhere.
Gives a shit.
And his
That's great.
fatality is awesome too. He blows him away with an M60, then hits him into a bamboo trap, and steps behind him and rips her throat out. And that's when it ends. It's just him ripping the throat and the blood pouring out. Oh, and it's got his voice. And then, like, if you don't pull a fatality, it just ends. He's holding the gun in the air, and he's screaming with his mouth sideways. You know, that he does. He makes it. I honestly love him. But I will say, what's so funny?
I just was looking at BB. He's just zoned out.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he would probably actually like it. Even Michelle played as a Rambo. Out of the 5, though, the one with the best moveset is still Spawn has the best moveset.
So is he your favorite?
Out of the guest characters, Spawn, yeah. But Rambo's a close second. RoboCop's too slow, and Terminator's moves are kind of crappy. Like, he has to jump, grab people in the air and stuff. I don't like what they did with Terminator's moves. He's
Too
cool.
many aerial stuff.
Yeah.
Aerial moves are always harder to pull off.
And his is anti-air. So if you're jumping, one of his moves is he grabs you in
defense
midair.
move,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't like his moveset, but I like Spawn's. I like Rambo's.
So if you had to, who could you pick for someone that is not in the Rambo, or not in the DLCs for the Mortal Kombat? Who would you want to pick? Any other movie characters that would fit great in that universe?
Well, it seems like they're doing
really...
80s action of some sort. So a Van Damme character of some sort, maybe Time Cop, or we'll pick a Van Damme one.
Frank
Universal
Dux.
Soldier. Frank Dux, yeah, that would be one. So that looks like, because last Mortal Kombat was a horror movie theme.
What
so
about
you had
instead of Van Damme, they pick old boy the ogre guy from Bloodsport?
yeah, that'd be funny. Or Seagal, like Fat Seagal.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Bill?
What the hell is a Dumac?
Dude, tell you, that'd be hilarious.
I would love to see like Steven Seagal from his reality show. You know, not the in shape Steven Seagal.
Dude, we're talking about hair dye.
Or Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris would be a good one too. So some 80s action star would be great. So there you go. The Rambo's out on Mortal Kombat. Also, if you have a PS5, they released a new enhanced version with Rambo and all of them in it. You can get that. So I think I get to upgrade it for free whenever I do get a PS5 to see how much better it looks. So there's no movies for me this week, just a lot of video games. And Charles, what did you watch on Hulu?
Yeah, so I watched a handful of streaming stuff. This one just came out, and it's called I Am Greta. And this is about Greta Thunberg, the Swedish girl who is really at the forefront of climate change. She was Times Person of the Year last year. And this is basically a documentary following her and her family's journey through what she's been through and where she's at and all this kind of stuff. And it was a very comprehensive, all the way to when she first started where she took the Fridays off school to protest climate change, into all of the summits that she goes to and she's asked to go to. I got to tell you, how to explain this without... Okay, so the one thing that makes me, and again, we talk about like giving oppositions pause and all this kind of stuff. Okay, so why is there a film crew following this little girl from like her very first stunt of her sitting out on a Friday through everything? It does seem a little bit like it. I thought
we're gonna make you a star.
Yeah, like a little bit premeditated
on her first one.
So she's sitting there with the sign.
What'd you say, Bill?
Is it a little contrived?
Yeah.
Yeah, all I'm saying is, like, if it was like this grassroots thing of this girl, and she happens to be on the spectrum, she has Asperger's, which is a form of autism, and we know from Eric and a friend of the show that, you know, your kids who have certain conditions can really grab a hold of certain topics and won't let it go, as he can attest to. And her particular topic that she gravitates towards is climate change. And I think that her message is getting lost it's a weird thing because, like I said, so she made this point of like, I'm not going to school on Fridays. I'm going to go sit outside the Swedish Parliament and start to tell some of these old idiots who are just windbags about climate change, like, hey, look, you're leaving this planet to me. And I think that message is noble. I really do. Mm-hmm. But I just, like I said, it's a little weird.
Hard to be noble with a film crew following you.
Yeah, it's a little bit interesting. I thought it was a little more grassroots, is what I would say.
How old is she at this point?
She's, I want to say she's 13, 15, somewhere in there. I think she's 15 is what I think she is. And they follow her and her dad. Her dad takes her to a lot of these things. And to the point, like, she's grabbed a hold of this topic, and she's very adamant about it. She takes trains. She rode a boat to get here to come to the United States.
Did she row the boat?
She rode the boat with PJ Fleck. It's crazy. But I'm a huge climate change guy, as we've kind of chronicled on this show, and everyone who knows me knows that I believe in it and all. But all I'm saying is it does make me scratch my head a little bit.
Yeah.
That, well, okay, so here was this little girl who had a great idea and like wants to create change in this world. And again, I'm all for that. You should call out some of these old people that are leaving you a fucked up world. Like, I completely agree with that. But like, literally, like, who's filming this the whole time? Like, what? It seemed a little weird, is all I'm going to say. And I guess if I'm judging this documentary, it tells you everything. It shows her journey and her dealing with kind of how she goes through and does these speeches and all this kind of. It's a very comprehensive documentary, and it's very interesting. It almost shined a light for me on like maybe there is something to this. I don't know. Like, it just seemed a little sketchy. I don't know if you guys would have an opinion on that.
Yeah, I didn't know there was a film crew the very first time she did
She's
it.
sitting there with that sign outside of Parliament, and then like as people are walking by, they're like, well, shouldn't you be going to school? And there's kind of an interaction there, and then the crowd just kind of grows. But again, it's filmed from jump. They literally have her walk over and sit down, and I just...
That seems suspect.
Yeah, I don't know. BV, you have a theory or an opinion?
Billy,
I got nothing
yourself.
from you, BB. You got mute.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I haven't seen the documentary, but it does. It seems a little contrived in that they have the cameras on her from the time it starts. So at some point, either they knew she was going to do this, and they somehow, someone decided they were going to take advantage of it and see what they could get out of it, or hopefully it's the former than the latter. But the other thing might be that they took someone who was, in this situation, who was focused on something, having Asperger's all, and then directed her in a manner that would allow them to take advantage of it. Mm-hmm. Where actually, the message gets skewed from the beginning, and I think it undermines in a lot of ways what she's probably trying to get across.
And it really, if there is any kind of nefariousness to it, and if there is any kind of prompting, it's shame on them, because I think her message is so spot on. That's the sad part. Like, if this little girl came to these conclusions about these politician windbags and these old people who are leaving you a messed up world, like, about time someone needs to call some of these people out. All these politicians that take money from all these corporations and, go to these summits. A perfect example of her observations and her astuteness to it. They bring her to a big climate summit in Poland, and there's all these people talking about climate change and all. She goes, but they're serving beef hamburgers, and they're all sold out. Like, everyone grabbed all the burgers immediately. So here's all these people that are talking climate change. Yet the first opportunity they have to get red meat, they all grab it. Like, and again, that's spot on. Like, and I don't think that kind of stuff is prompted. I think she's in tune. And again, I think some of her, I don't want to step on it, but is it her condition or whatever allows her to be like a next level to that observation and stuff. But yeah, it's just I think it's worth a watch, is what I would tell a lot of people, especially if you're into climate change. But almost if you're against climate change, because it does lend itself to being some of that, maybe that reverse voice of reason, where it's like, okay, maybe there's more to this little girl than just her message. So,
scale of 1 to 10.
If I'm pressed, I'd give it a 7, just because it's not terrible. It's a good watch, but like I said, it was a little odd to me, at times. So that's what I would give that one.
All right, now what is We Are the Champions?
Oh, so we all know that I love obscure sports, obscure documentaries. It just speaks to everything that I am. So this little gem of a show popped up on Netflix this past week. It's a great thing that basically it's a 6-part series where they go around and chronicle different people who are way into obscure or random events or sports. So, for example, as BV has up here, the first one, have you guys ever seen where they roll the cheese wheel down this enormous hill and these idiots chase after this cheese wheel? And it's at a pitch that's like more than a 45-degree angle. These people go flying down this hill. The girl's ripped her collarbone out. It's a really fun time. It speaks to me and just the obscurity of it. One of the other episodes is a yo-yo championship in Cleveland.
Wasn't it similar to that other thing you watched with all the bizarre sports?
Yeah, it really is. Yeah,
so
it's
why
very
would it be
similar.
2 separate shows?
But let me tell you, here's why this is good. And I'll tell you what makes it a really good gem. They got Rainn Wilson, The Office's Dwight Schrute, to not only narrate it, but also take it very serious. And it just makes it so good with the way that he's narrating it, because he's playing it so dead straight. It's just, man, I got to tell you. Now, there are a couple episodes I was kind of not that into. Like, one of the episodes was about people who do those crazy fantasy hair competitions, like where they do the crazy hair and all that kind of stuff. That was okay. But like I said, like when you get in those yo-yo championships and just the randomness, it puts a smile on my face just talking about it. I just love obscurity, and like someone who's willing to put in all this extra time on the dumbest shit is just right up my alley. So big fan. If you like any of, like Steve said, there's another one, I forget the name, where they showed that crazy Italian where they were beating the shit out of each other, playing weird rugby soccer and all that kind of stuff in the Italian provinces. I probably should have referenced that name, but this show is a solid 8 out of 10. It's great. Wow. It's not amazing. Like Steve said, it probably should have just been a second season of that one. Yeah. But the way that they got, whoever directed Rainn Wilson needs just a pat on the back, because they told him, like, man, you're into this. Come to it like a David Attenborough kind of like narration, and just spot on with the narration. I just loved it. So big fan of We Are the Champions, and that one's on Netflix is what that one's on.
Now this one was on my preview for the week, but you went ahead and watched it. Kevin Hart, Zero Fucks Given on Netflix. Now, was this recorded pre-COVID or during
So this
COVID?
is during COVID. He did the Dave Chappelle thing, not at like a weird farm in rural Ohio. He actually brought an audience to his house, and that's how he recorded it. And he's always talking about it. And again, we talked a little bit earlier show. Okay, we're into that zone where everyone's a little out of step. And I'm going to tell you this. This is not Kevin Hart's funniest stand-up. And it's really, I'm going to give him a pass and say that this is kind of I'll call it COVID clunky, is what I'm saying. Like, he seems a little out of sorts. The crowd's got to be small and intimate. Kevin Hart. Oh, you okay, BB? Kevin Hart is usually doing like huge arenas where he's got 10,000 people feeding into him and all this kind of stuff. This one's really kind of small. He seems a little bit rusty, I guess would be the term. Right. Yeah, they're just a little. I never thought when me and you have kind of talked about we were going to get into that lull of those COVID issues that it would apply to stand-ups, but I really think it might. I think it might be. Everyone's kind of off the road and just not as sharp as they would be. Right, and that's the only way. It's just the material wasn't as sharp as Kevin Hart can be and all that kind of stuff. I'm sadly going to give it like a 4 out of 10. Ooh, wow. It just, there was no really funny laughs to me. I mean, there's a few moments where like he's making fun of his kids and stuff that are like, oh, okay, but it's just not his best work. And I think it's just COVID clunky.
I do have a question for you. Now, when these guys sign these Netflix contracts, they're signed for so many specials. Does this feel like one that he had to get in because of his contract and it was just kind of there?
I think that, and again, you're a big Rogan listener, and I think BV does a little bit. BV's way into stand-up, too. And I think that they're all struggling with what's the new normal, I think is what it is. I don't necessarily think it's him trying to do a money grab, because Kevin Hart doesn't need to do a money grab. And
well, I know contractually he's obligated to do so many over so many years.
Maybe it's like a Spider-Man thing is what you're saying, like the Sony rule. Where, they got to do, and maybe that is the case, but I got to tell you, this is not one to really be that proud of if that is the case. And if he is kind of cashing it in, I think he's trying to. I think he thought it was funnier than what it was, and it'd be hilarious to have everyone at his house. And, we could still do the show. We could do, I'm going to try to get back to what's the new normal. It just didn't work. I don't know how else to describe it, guys. This is really.
Probably should have sat it out until everything was normal again.
Yeah, or just I think that he just it's like he didn't. He made a Michael Jordan comeback and didn't get the reps in or something like that. Yeah, it's a really hard way of describing it. But yeah, I think that we're gonna see this a little bit of these like comedians kind of getting their footing again and getting that road sharpness that we are so used to.
Now, if you listen to Rogan this week, Donnell, I forget Rollins, and then Dave Chappelle showed up. They're doing a lot of stuff in Texas because I guess
Texas never closed.
They don't close, and they got a lot of these open air stadiums or comic things they're doing. So maybe that's something that they're going to do.
Dave Chappelle, to his credit, he did that thing at that the farm. So he had a pretty sizable audience that they did at a farm, and he's in like somewhere in rural Ohio, like northeast Ohio,
not too far from his house.
Yeah.
Talked about
so
that.
I don't know.
But then he said it's got too cold up there, so he came down to Texas.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I love Kevin Hart. I think he's a funny, hilarious dude, man, and he runs circles around a lot of comedians. This just wasn't that good. I don't know how else to describe it, and I just think that, like I said, maybe they all need to get some reps in.
4 out of 10. All right. Now we're going to go to Bill's favorite part of the podcast, and that is Steve's Animation Corner. Now, I didn't watch an animated show. Now, Charles, you're big on how the sauce is made kind of shows, right?
Love it, yeah.
I love those too. I like to know behind-the-scenes shit and stuff like that. So Disney released a 5-part Inside Pixar. It's based on that new animated movie they got coming out called Soul. And we'll talk about it a little later, but it's a new animated movie. It's supposed to come out in the summer. COVID postponed it, whatever else. Each episode is about 10, 12 minutes long. So what I thought going in, they're going to show me from beginning to end how they make this animated movie. Right up Steve's alley, right? Got to see that shit. Oh, nay, my friend. That is not what you get. So the first episode is a black guy, middle-aged screenwriter, and he is the head writer on the movie Soul. I'm like, all right, let's hear his process and how he goes through it. Of the 10 to 12 minutes, 8 minutes of it is just his backstory and his life and his stuff. And then they do a little bit on the screenwriting and then how he added a scene of going to the barbershop, and it really introduces black culture. And that was it. That was the whole episode. So I was like, it wasn't really too much in the sauce, but all right. The next episode is this quirky girl who looks like she's from 1934. She has big brooches on, and she's the head character designer. Oh, I'd like to hear her process and how she goes.
How they wait on approvals.
Yeah, nope. That's what they did. They went into her backstory, how she came up, and how she was doing things. And
so
then
they're basically just fleshing out the people behind the scenes. Is what you're
yes, is what it ended up being. Third episode comes on. There's this guy, middle-aged white guy with a beard with his fingernails painted. Of course, I don't even know what he was a lead animator on the short in front of it, and the name of the short is Coming Out. He's a gay guy who made a cartoon, and it pretty much was just him and his story. Nothing to do with how he made the goddamn cartoon.
So this isn't that inside. It's more of like bios.
No, this is social justice. Here's Inside Pixar.
Yeah, wow.
Fourth episode, there's a middle-aged white woman. I'm like, all right, she's a script supervisor. I'd like to know how they fine-line the script and stuff. Don't barely cover any of that. She made a program, and what this program does, it reads scripts and auto scripts for animation studios and tells you how many women and how many men characters are in there and the importance of each person's roles, and if there's not enough women, how you need to go back, rewrite, and put more women in there.
Whoa.
I was like, what the hell is that got to do with anything?
Oh, my God.
So then finally you get to the director.
So basically what this whole thing was how Soul is checking boxes.
Yes.
Is what you're telling me.
And we no longer have that sexual predator John Lasseter working for us.
Wow.
Remember, because he got fired from Pixar for all that touchy-feely shit. And it was just a giant social justice warrior thing. And I didn't learn anything new about the
They
process of
didn't
building.
show you like
You see
know, in,
Wacom's in the back.
As I was gonna say, like they showed like when they're animating him in Shrek and they made his hair all blow out and all that kind of
They
stuff.
don't show any. They didn't show any of that sauce. It was more deep dive into these people that are building this movie.
Sounds awful.
It was god awful. This is a 2 out of 10
Oh,
because there's a
my God.
couple of things here and there you can learn a little bit, but it was terrible. I was like, "What
How many
is
parts
this?"
is it?
It's 5 parts, 10 to 12 minutes each.
Jeez.
Yeah, and it was
So you're talking
terrible.
about an hour of your life you ain't getting back.
Yeah, it was.
And
terrible.
now you can tell me how multicultural Soul's gonna be.
Yeah, it's great. You know, I know Pixar is very diverse.
Wow.
All right, so
That's crazy.
yeah, it was terrible, and it just makes me never want to work for Pixar. I'll tell you that much. So a very big bummer. I was hoping to come here and tell you the
Because they've
process.
got another cool show on there, and I've never really watched it, but I've always kind of the Imagineer show where they
People
show you
building
how
of Disneyland and
yeah,
stuff.
that's kind of neat.
Yeah,
Like,
unless you imagine that you turned it on.
Yeah, but
Instead,
then they show you
got
the
to hear about Fred
backstory
the
of the-
janitor,
yeah,
and how he was
weird.
picked on as a gay kid when he was 12 years
yeah,
old.
Weird.
Yeah, it was terrible. Terrible show. 2 out of 10.
Did you ever see that show on there too? The inside or not inside Pixar? That's what you're talking about, but. Pixar in real life, where they make a Wall-E and they make him
Yeah,
that's kind of really cool.
That's not too bad, yeah. But yeah, but this is terrible. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking on this
Oh,
one.
wow.
They're like, we need content. So, all right. So, Bill, we teased a little bit at the beginning. Let's talk about last week's pick and how you got screwed because it made no sense. Bill, you're muted
he
again.
loves to mute himself.
You like to mute
Well,
yourself.
no, I was clearing my throat earlier and didn't want to interrupt. So,
You just should have said, "Let me clear my."
So- anyway, the 3-week win streak comes to an end.
Screeching. Halt.
Last week took the Ravens laying 7 to New England, who's been pretty much garbage. I believe you guys were both very high on the pick. I think it was 90 and 95%
Yeah.
respectively.
Yeah.
And then the Ravens proceed to get exposed.
Pull their pants
Apparently
down,
now
shit
they
the
can't
bed.
stop the run to save their lives. And they go ahead and not only don't cover, they lose the game 23-17 to the Patriots, who suddenly look halfway decent again.
Not to interrupt you, but let me ask you a question. If you're taking the
Hold
Ravens,
on, you gotta do that right. You gotta do that.
I gotta
right.
ask you one more question. So if you're taking a team like the Ravens and then they're not gonna cover, do you hope that they lose at that point because you're pissed at them?
In most cases, yeah, but considering it's the Patriots and scam, no.
Oh, okay.
I was rooting for them to come back and score and then try to get a turnover or something and pull off the win. 'Cause I thought, well, all right, well, if they can score and go up 24-23 and then get like a pick six, I was still hopeful they could pull some cheese. But no, it wasn't to be. They screwed the pooch all the way around. So so we go to 6-4 on the season now. Another loss of $10.
That should have been
Still
a
up.
lock. That game made no sense.
Yeah, so it just goes to show you that NFL's there's apparently no real easy wins. Anything can
tough.
happen.
Yeah.
But so this week again, not a great slate.
Hold on,
Certainly
before you go
not.
into this week, hold on. Where are you
Yeah.
at numbers wise and all that? What's your record? What's your
I am
numbers?
6-4 for the year, and with the $10 loss on that bet, I am now I'm still ahead, but I went from 24.70 ahead to 14.70 ahead.
Okay.
So
All right.
eking out a small profit.
You can almost buy a
Over the
combo
course-
meal.
Hey, well, it's
Get you another
$10
turkey sandwich.
at $10 a shot. It's not it's not easy to amass a huge bankroll there. So so going into this week though, the slate's not great. Didn't like a lot of the lines. You can tell they're really kind of keying in on things and making the lines a lot tougher to deal with. So I did find one though that I liked enough to pick for this week. So this game is the Vikings are at home against the Dallas Cowboys. The Vikings are a 7-point favorite. I am taking the Vikings,
All right.
and I am laying the 7 points to Dallas. Not a whole lot of statistical analysis to this whole thing. The Cowboys are a bad football team right now. They're horrible.
Don't
And
say
it
that.
appears
Pittsburgh struggled against that team.
and it appears that they've for the most part quit. The Pittsburgh game was kind of an anomaly there, but Andy Dalton is back for the Cowboys.
Yeah, I was
but
say that. Yeah,
but when he came in to replace Dak Prescott before he was jettisoned out with I think a concussion, he was playing worse than these third string bungs that came into play afterwards. So not to mention that offensive line is so riddled with injuries that they can't protect him. He's not particularly mobile and whatnot. He's going to get destroyed. The Vikings are one of the hottest teams in football right now. The defense is the defense is coming around really strongly and playing well. Dalvin Cook looks like the best running back in the league, and the the Cowboys defense, they can't stop a nosebleed. So this looks to be a very heavy dose of Dalvin Cook. It seems like he's running off 50-plus yard touchdowns every other week. So I'm taking Minnesota, laying the 7 to the Cowboys at home, and hoping for the best.
So, the usual conversation. Steve, analyze that BV pick. What do you got?
I like it. I like 90% with Bill on that one. I see a 24-10. Just Minnesota just takes control, stays ahead, and it ends 24-10. The Cowboys had a late garbage touchdown when nobody cares about. Yeah. I like it a lot. 90% in with Bill. I mean, but I was with the Ravens, too. I don't understand that game from last week. Yeah. I don't know what the hell. The Ravens didn't show up.
We thought New England was dead.
Yeah, apparently not. But I really, Bill's absolutely right. Vikings are very hot, even in spite of Kirk Cousins. I don't know. But
and the problem is the Cowboys just below. So this is going to be a classic Cowboys up and then down. Yeah. I think they're going to struggle this week. I'm like you, like 90-95. I'll give them. I mean, I like this. I got no issue with that one for sure. BV's spot on with that.
BV's got. I think he's winning this week. But watch that Rutgers-Michigan game. Just saying. Might have got some money on that.
Has that already started?
I don't know. What time is it?
I'll take a look.
Take a look. I'm curious. Michigan's going to be up by 21-0.
Yeah.
So there you go. Bill's cold, hard lock pick of the week. I just added some extra stuff in there. But bet your rent money on it because it's a winner.
I just burped up that turkey sandwich, and I still give a thumbs up to the turkey sandwich.
Turkey and cinnamon coming up. That's delicious.
The second go round is pretty good, too.
Hey, Steve, before you move on here, a minute 18 left to go in the first quarter. Rutgers 7, Michigan nothing.
Oh, man. Wow. Now I'm up 19 points. Damn it. Wow. I just knew it.
Who's the coach from Indiana? That's your next Wolverine coach right there.
By the way, did you happen to catch any of the Michigan game last week?
No.
Harbaugh wears his headset microphone under his mask. So it looks like he got a face hard on the whole time. He's the only coach that does that. I kept telling Bergeron because he came over randomly for the game.
Oh, really?
I was like, you really think this is going to be close? He's like, kid, they're going to be good. I go, it's because he's got a face hard on is why they're losing. All right. Now, we've chronicled on this podcast many times that we've tried all these streaming services, and most of our general consensus is it's just not there yet, right?
Stadia one was bad. That Stadia one had issues, man, no matter what we did.
So about 3 weeks ago, I signed up for the beta for the Luna. This is the Amazon version of streaming service of video games. And I got my receipt. They sent me my invite and stuff, and I got a 7-day free trial. And there's two
tiers.
There's the $5.99 tier, which is just their basic games they have, and then there's the $15 a month tier, which adds all the Ubisoft games, which is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Even the brand new Ubisoft games are in there.
Did you try the? Okay, I don't want to jump ahead.
I only signed up for the basic because the basic was free, so I only did the free. Now I will say that how this differs from the other ones is no matter what you're on a PC, Android, or iOS, you have to download a program or an app, like everyone says, and install it on whatever device you're going to play on.
So there's no in-browser version of the Amazon Luna software. It's all based in the app, the hard-baked app.
And I think this might be the key. So I downloaded on my PC at work and then at home. Now, at work, I have 100 megabyte
we talked about download. Wow, or
and I tried it there. Worked flawlessly. Everything worked
on
fine.
The hard line? On a hard line or on wireless?
Hard line. They were both on hard lines. I didn't test it on wireless.
Just
I should It worked flawlessly. It worked. So then, of course, the big hurdle.
But
is
you were only playing like what would be equivalent to like arcade games.
There's your problem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll get to that in a second. So then at home, where we both have AT&T, I have 50 megabyte.
Yep, same
and as
here.
I said, Project Cloud Project X or whatever, Stadia, xCloud, Stadia, they've all worked like dog shit for me at my house. This one worked. And it worked flawlessly. It didn't lose
Didn't
visual.
pixelate, didn't anything.
Didn't pixelate and worked with an Xbox controller. Plugged it in, turned it on. It worked. Now, like Charles was leading to, is all the free games are some basic bitch games. I mean, Contra, Castlevania, R-Type. These are Super Nintendo level games.
Yeah.
So I would assume any game. Now, the one they had that's a little bit, it's called Control. I don't know if you've seen the cover. It's a girl. She has kind of like psychic powers. That one has some decent graphics. It's probably like Alan Wake level graphics. And it ran smooth as well. I didn't play it long because the game sucked. I was like, I don't know what the... So out of all the three systems, the problem with Luna is I couldn't compare apples to apples because there was no Destiny on Luna and there's no high-end AAA game on the Luna service. If they start getting those, I will sign back up again and try it and try the high-end games. But as of right now, their games just suck. So they need better games. Unless
you
you're a
should
giant
have tried
Ubisoft.
the Ubisoft tier.
Yeah, I should have.
Because you would have a direct comparison between a hard disc game in Valhalla and the
should have done
stream.
that one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
now
be
that you
curious to
mention it.
hear that. Yeah.
But I will say, again, it worked way better than the other systems.
But I think that what the games that you're describing are not taxing hardware on the server end.
Yeah.
I'm curious
Control
to
might
see
be a little bit.
how that would translate to playing a AAA title, streaming it, and doing all these things to that app and all. I'd love to see that kind of because that would be ultimately the future of gaming. So I'm curious.
Maybe I'll try it again.
Are you so you're saying that you paid a baseline price, got all those games included, correct?
Yes.
So there's no in-app purchases the way that the Stadia thing is tough. That
there's
way.
none of that.
Yeah,
So, but at the same time, you're stuck with what they have.
I get you.
So you can't go out and get Mortal Kombat 11 and play it on there. It's
Sure.
But
But in theory, if this platform were to take off,
they would start getting the big.
yeah,
games
that's
and stuff
the
like that.
theory, right? That's
Yeah.
the ultimate
I think
goal.
it's that downloading that app onto your computer that would help.
made it more stable.
Made it way more stable. The other ones just kind of wing it, and there you go. But,
Well, because isn't there a big pissing match between the Stadia stuff and iOS and all?
Yeah,
There's no
yeah.
iOS app, and it's a
Yep.
whole thing.
Yeah.
So
So right now, that's the front runner to me. Out of all the three I've tried, Charles and I have the same kind of internet, so it's like you
Yeah.
got to have the one that's going to work. That one works. So, but again, you got to download some stuff. It's still, the games are lackluster. I give it probably a Steve 6, but that's the highest rating out of any of them, right? Most of them are 4s and 3s. So if you're going to try one, try this one. And if you love old school games like Contra, like R-Type, like Castlevania, like Bert, I could see would love this. I mean, he could sit on his crappy PC and play these old Super Nintendo games. It'd be right up his alley, I'd assume. So for some people, it might be great for you. But if I'm more of a AAA, stay on time with the guys.
you know what I'm wondering as you're talking about that, and like you said, as the future of application, I wonder if there's an Apple TV app for it.
I don't know.
Now that could be cool. So you had your Apple TV in the living room, and then you just paired an Xbox controller to it, and now you're able to play.
Yeah.
Think about the application. Yeah, that's a really cool thought. I wonder if there is one.
But there's no EA or sports for it. There is a tennis game. Now, I did play Top Spin Tennis. And that's like late Xbox 360, I want to say. Or very
Is it the
Looks
original
decent.
one?
Nothing.
Huh?
The original Top Spin?
Yeah, I think it was Top Spin. I
Top
think
spins, yeah.
It was Top Spin 2 or something like that. It had Nadal. It had a couple of them in it. And I tried that, and it played flawlessly. It did. And so that worked good.
You've got me.
Except I sucked at it.
Is it an open beta? Is that what you played it in?
Yeah. You had to sign up, and then they sent you the link. And
Amazon loves that. Amazon loves to sign up and then we'll let you know. Kind of,
Yeah.
they love doing that.
And I forgot about it, and then it showed up in my email one day. I was like, oh, well, let me try it. So I gotta say, out of the three, it's the best one so far. So out of the four, because I played NVIDIA too. I've tried them all. So all right,
You
so-
were hyped on the NVIDIA one, but then it got kind of poached, didn't you? Say
yeah, all
that?
the stuff got ripped, and then some with NVIDIA stuff where it works for a while and then I go back and it doesn't work and it's
It's
kind of,
PCs, man.
it's like what? And you gotta tweak it, turn it on. It's like I'm done.
PC.
Same thing with that Steam Link. I had that for a while too. And
It's
just
exhausting.
nothing's flawless when it comes to that stuff.
Dude,
I just want to put an HDMI cord
nothing
in
is
there,
flawless to anything.
turn the
PC.
game on and play. But no,
And then,
I
like
gotta
you
go
said, like a
tweak.
lot of their fan base look keeps. It's like, dude, this is annoying.
Yeah.
it does.
Really is.
It gets old quick.
All right, so now we're gonna see what's new this week. Now, of course, Chris Hart show was going to be new, but Charles already ruined it
Kevin
and watched
Hart.
it.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart, sorry, not Chris Hart. So we're gonna get some real.
And I'll be honest with you guys, avoid it. You know,
Yeah.
that would be my 2 cents.
Well, you're probably most likely going to avoid a lot of these on this list here. So first up, and one of Bill's favorite country singers, Dolly Parton, Christmas on the Square, Netflix special this week. Yeah, I'm not watching this. Bill, are you watching Dolly Parton?
I love me some Dolly Parton, but not enough to watch her Christmas special. So no.
And Charles?
Does she still got those big fake pontoons in the
Oh,
front?
yeah, and big
everything
plastic
that? I wonder
face,
what
yeah.
she looks like at this
Well,
point.
strange you say that. Because she has been in talks with Playboy to pose for them
Whoa.
at 71 years old.
I might need to look at that.
So I first off
I'm
didn't know
not above that, but
I
I
didn't know
gotta
Playboy
see
was still around, but
I gotta see.
they were talking
that.
about it on the radio this week at Dave and Chuck.
Oh man, I
She's
definitely.
had a lot of work done too. So like
You
she's
bet.
still got like the tight skin in the face.
Yeah,
and-
she looks like a plastic doll.
She's 74 now.
74.
Oh.
I swear to you, I'm going to check that out. I don't give
If
a
that
shit.
happens,
I'm
you're
gonna-
watching it, you're
I'm
looking
looking
at
at that. I'm like, whoa, Jesus.
Are you looking at enough to pay like the $8 for a Playboy
No,
magazine?
we live in the year 2020. I just Google it in 2 minutes and
Yeah,
be able to
that's a
see
good
the whole
point.
spread. What are you talking about?
Good point. Good point.
Who's buying a magazine?
So, but are you
1984?
watching the Netflix show?
I might check it out just to see how she's looking. I swear to you. Like I'm like, what is this old
I
bro?
think
These
what
big
you're gonna do
pontoons.
is you're gonna flick through and it's gonna show that preview on Netflix. It'll show a couple seconds of it and be like, all right, that's all right, good enough. Yeah, that's right.
Because I got the 4K Netflix. You'll be able to see some wrinkles on that stretched out face and everything like that. So yeah.
Next up is I know a 16-year-old girl is going to be dying to see this one. Shawn Mendes in Wonder. It's on Netflix. There's allegedly a scene where he's in the shower and Holly is hot and bothered by that one.
Oh man, did someone let Smoochies know?
Smoochies does not know. I'm a big no on this, and I'm going to make my daughter watch it on her phone away from me. Bill, what are your thoughts?
Well, yeah. So oddly enough, this week on the WGN Morning News, they had this thing about this video that he's put out of an old Frankie Valli song, which just I don't know. It doesn't do it for me. I'm like 2 generations too old for this, so no.
I'm a huge Shawn Mendes fan. Love him. No, I'm a no. This is terrible.
What if it was BTS? Would you?
Well, my daughter would watch it, but I'm not watching this. I'm too busy looking at the big fake pontoons on
It's like I got things to do. All right, next up, and I didn't know this guy was still trying to even be a comedian still. Larry the Cable Guy remains seated. I don't have Netflix anymore, so I'm a no. Bill?
Yeah, when I'm looking for something to watch, I'll check it out. I don't have high hopes for it, but check it out.
I think I'm with Steve. I didn't know Larry the Cable Guy was still a thing.
Yeah.
I think is what. I'll wait for listen to BV. If BV says it's really funny and he got a kick out of it, I'll check it out.
I mean, I don't hate the guy. I thought
I'm not anti Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah. A lot of people do hate him and whatever, but I thought he had a good shtick and stuff, and it was kind of funny.
He had
But
a little travel show for a little bit that was kind of funny.
yeah, I mean, he seems like a nice guy or whatever, but I don't know. The country version of Bert Kreischer, right? Next up, The Flight Attendant. This is, I don't know if this is a show or a movie with Kelly, how do you say her last name?
Kaylee Cuoco
Kaylee Cuoco.
from Big Bang Theory.
Yes.
Penny.
So this is actually kind of a murder mystery. So she wakes up in a bed and the guy next to her is dead, but she doesn't know how it happened, and she has to go and clear her name. Yeah, no. Bill?
Yeah, this is apparently a series of some sort.
Oh, it's a series. Okay, I didn't know if it was a movie or a series.
You know what? I can get HBO Max for free because I'm an HBO subscriber. I've still yet to even break it out and check it out. So,
Dude, watch the Pottery Show, BB. What's wrong with you?
the Pottery Show. There you go. This will not cause me to break it open and watch it. So no.
And Charles.
Yeah. I like Kaylee Cuoco. If it might have been like a funny sitcom, like about flight crews and stuff like that, I'd be intrigued. What you just described, a murder mystery on a plane? Hell no.
Well, it's not a plane. She's in town. She meets a guy.
I don't care. No.
It's supposed to be based on some book series, I guess. I don't know.
I'm sure my wife will be like, the book was so much better. I don't care. Sucks. No.
So are the Big Bang Theory guys, this is a little sidetracked, are they going to be the Friends cast 2.0? Where
completely.
They're going to be struggling to find stuff afterwards?
And Johnny Galecki is going to be just weird. And then, Jim Parsons is going to do weird Broadway stuff. And he's like the Neil Patrick Harris version, where he's like, I don't know.
All right. So next up on the Peacock, this is the one they've been waiting for that's going to save the service. The Saved by the Bell, the new class or whatever it is they're calling it. I didn't like the original series. I know that's blasphemy. A lot of people loved it. It's dog shit then. It's dog shit now. I'm a big no. They can all go fuck
Dog
themselves.
shit in 2020.
Yeah, dog shit 2020. Hashtag dog shit. Bill, your thoughts?
I did watch it back in the day, but I barely got through the college years. I have no interest in this whatsoever.
And Charles?
I got to tell you, like, the reboots of the reboots of the reboots, there's a reason why it probably got ended the first place. I mean, what we've come to learn, and this looks no. I'm a no. I mean, we're just supposed to act like again, like What's Her Nuts didn't get like railed on camera in that one movie, and it's not like Showgirls didn't exist,
and
like Lark
girls...
Voorhees isn't like a crazy Republican black girl. We're gonna act like all this isn't existing, and we're just back at Bayside. It's a little weird, dude. I don't know. I'm a no.
Now the other one, I didn't know about it until I heard about it this week. It's already out on HBO Max. There's a Fresh Prince reunion. I don't know if you heard about that. They brought the whole cast back, even the original Aunt Viv. And I guess what they did was Will Smith and her sat down before everyone else and like apologized to each other. Because anyone interested in the Fresh Prince reunion show, Charles?
Well, Uncle Phil's dead.
Yeah.
So we obviously can't have that.
It was very awkward. They put him in a canister.
The urn. They just
it was a hologram of Uncle Phil that popped up.
I don't know. I'm a no. No.
Bill, would you be interested in that?
If it's no more than about 20 minutes long, maybe, but
I don't know the length. I'm going to guess.
I don't. Reunion shows, reboots. I mean, it was a funny show at the time, but it wasn't like one of my must see. No.
Yeah, I never watched it live. I always caught it in like reruns on like TBS or something.
I gotta tell you, his BB has that background or whatever. Like, did AC Slater age at all? Mario Lopez still looks like he's like 20.
That's Access Hollywood
That's
or whatever the hell
crazy,
he's on. Yeah,
right? Like that dude is still like it looks just like AC Slater when he was a kid.
But they're really banking. That Peacock service is banking on that show. They think it's going to be a huge hit.
Might be a hitter.
I don't know.
Not for me and you, it sounds like.
Or Bill. Bill's shaking his head, too. All right, Charles, it's time for Punch You in the Face.
Yeah.
And the pregame started at 4:30 this afternoon.
Yeah, because... So we had a decent fight night. Again, ESPN Plus. I talk about it week after week. Rafael dos Anjos beat up on Paul Felder. Paul Felder now he's lost 2 in a row. It might be time for Paul Felder to walk away. He's a good commentator and everything like that. It's entirely possible we might be seeing the twilight of Paul Felder's career. He's got like 20-something fights and stuff like that, but you start to slide in the UFC, boy, Dana White starts looking at you pretty harsh and like, hey, you might be getting long in the tooth. So that was a good fight. Tonight, I touched on it a little earlier in the show, UFC 255 from the UFC Fight Apex. We got Figueiredo versus Alex Perez. Now, Steve and BB have sat here with me on the show quite a few weeks, and I've kind of gone over these cards and stuff like that. Do either of you two have any clue who these guys are or anything?
No.
BB, you have any clue?
No.
Yeah. They're the headline fight. They're going to fight for, 110-pound guys. This is terrible.
Yeah, I know.
And then Valentina Shevchenko's fighting Jennifer Maia. Again, bigger in the women's division, but still, Steve's not into that at all. As soon as you see women, Steve's out.
I do know who Shevchenko is.
Yeah, she's been around a little ways, but I got to tell you, and we're going to talk next week. I'm going to do
Chick fighting sucks.
Well, and this is a pay-per-view?
This is pay-per-view. This is UFC 255 from the Apex. We are going to do our best. I'm going to do my best to find out what the buys are on
Yeah,
this.
it'd be one, Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I really
No one
think
else
there's
is
going to
buying.
be just this.
Kevin James and Joe Rogan are the only two people buying this
And the
pay-per-view.
thing is, man, those UFC cards cost you more than Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, Shaq, yeah.
Because he can't be in the audience. I got to tell you, though, guys, that is a terrible card, man. And for as much as they charge for these pay-per-views, I don't know.
They're not roping us in with that. Side note, though, today on The Real, which is a Fox movie preview show, there's a new movie coming out with Stephen Dwarf.
Stephen Dorff, the guy
Dwarf,
from
sorry, did I
Blade
say
or whatever.
Dwarf?
Yeah.
Sorry. He is a UFC fighter who ends up having to fight his 18-year-old son in a match. that's the gist of the movie.
Oh, wow.
First off, he's
Is
so
it
out of
based on a
shape.
true story or anything like that?
It
or-
can't be. I don't think so. I don't know where this movie's coming out. I forgot the title of it, but I saw that today. I go, I don't even think Charles would watch that. That is terrible.
I don't know. I don't.
Did you ever see the Kevin James UFC fight
No,
movie?
no,
Here
I
Comes the
haven't.
Boom or whatever it was.
No.
I saw it, but I couldn't tell you anything. I know the Fonz was in it. I know
Henry Winkler
and
and
Selma
Baz
Hayek-
Rutan. is
somehow
always-
Selma Hayek was his like love interest. It was way out of his league.
Selma
or
Hayek
whatever.
still looks really good.
Yeah, she's super hot. All right, so here comes
Yeah.
the news. Bill, this is very important to you. Beyond Meat got rejected by McDonald's, by the way. I think we talked about that.
Yeah. They made their own. They destroyed the company. They made their
Yeah.
own McPlant burger or whatever.
Yeah, but Beyond Meat has come back in a news press release. They've made a way to make their fake burgers juicier and healthier at the same time. We'll have to wait
I
and see.
think, and it's my opinion, the Beyond Burger patty is decent, but it's definitely pales in comparison from taste wise from the Impossible Burger and the Beyond Burger. I think the Impossible Burger has a delicious taste to it. Both of those, as we talked about and we've chronicled on the show, are not very healthy for you. You know, and that's, you know, I'm very keen to calories lately. 240 calories for a quarter pound of that Impossible Burger. I think Beyond Meat's right in the same vein. So if they can get the calories down, because a lot of people are under a misconception that those green burgers are actually healthy for you, and it's just not the case.
that's true.
So I don't know, BV, you got any thoughts?
Well, I'm in the other camp. I prefer the Beyond Burger to the Impossible Burger, but I'm only eating them because I'm married to a vegetarian. So I haven't really paid much attention to the calorie intake. But before talking through, you know, on this show, I wouldn't have guessed that it was more. Like, for example, when you said last week that, you know, a lean turkey patty is only about 180 calories, I wouldn't have recognized that the calorie intake on these plant-based burgers would be higher than you know, beef or you know, lean turkey or any meat product. So it was a little eye-opening.
Yeah, so there you go.
Did they have any deets? Is this new one supposed to be lower calories?
Yeah, it's in the article. You can click it and read it, but it's not drastically lower, but it is a little lower than the current one.
Did you, by the way, did you guys see that Pizza Hut has a Beyond Sausage?
Yeah,
pizza
that
now?
might be a taste test coming. There's a Beyond Sausage.
We had to try that.
Oh, you already had it?
What do you got,
I-
BV? Tell us.
I have not. I didn't try it. The
Goddamn,
wife did.
BV.
She likes the Beyond product too.
Well, maybe next week we'll all be tired of turkey. We'll have to bring in a Beyond Pizza. So now the show that we were all kind of lukewarm on and some of us really didn't like somehow is now getting a second season. Space Force with Steve Carell on Netflix. Season 2 coming next year. Is anybody excited about that?
This was a huge swing and a miss for me. That
Yeah.
show had all the lineage, all of the talent in it that should have been great. I did not get it. That show was not good. BV, did you check it out at all?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, so I'll give it 2 episodes. And if they're terrible as the first season, I'm out. I know it's a 10-episode season usually, so. Now, this one's kind of a bummer, and I know Bill's a giant Sinbad fan, and so am I.
Yeah.
He recently had a stroke this past week.
He looks rough. He looks real rough.
His family said he will recoup, but he'll probably be out of the limelight for... Well, actually, I don't even know what he's been doing. Touring, I guess. Doing
Very funny, clean comedian that's
Yes.
been around for decades. And very funny dude.
Yeah, and he didn't drug any of his dates like the other clean
Oh,
comedians.
hello. Pudding Pop.
So...
Not as far as you know.
Yeah, anyways, not until the allegations come out. So Sinbad, the comedian, Jingle All the Way, what is the House Guest? House Guest was a great movie. I like both of those.
Necessary Roughness.
Oh, yeah, Necessary Roughness. toughness. Sinbad, been funny for years and years and years. Unfortunately, had a stroke. Hopefully, he recovers and we get to see him again. I guess recently he was in the Rel show. The comedian Rel had a TV
the
show.
bigger black guy.
Yeah, he was on that show, I guess, recently. But unfortunately, he will be. Hopefully,
I think all
recover.
three of us would consider ourselves. We like Sinbad.
Yeah, I don't. Have you really met anyone that says I can't stand Sinbad? I'm trying to think of if I've ever met anyone that said I just hate Sinbad.
Yeah, I'm anti-Sinbad.
Yeah.
But tomorrow, if there was like a Netflix special for Sinbad, I know all three of us would watch it. I know we would.
I don't know anybody that just hates Sinbad.
No, in fact, you go back to that early mid '90s period. He was probably one of the more underrated comics of that time.
Yeah, it was pretty good. So a little bit of a bummer, a little bit of sad news, but his family did say he should recover, so that's good. Next up, the New Day. Now, are you familiar with the New Day?
That's that bad wrestling group.
Yeah, it's got Kofi Kingston, Big E, and why am I going blank on Xavier Woods? Now, Xavier Woods is a diehard video game fan, and he has a YouTube channel called Up, Up, Down, Down. If you ever get a chance, you love video games. Yeah, it's a great he's always backstage at like WWE, and they're doing like video game tournaments with other wrestlers and stuff. Like they had a Madden tournament. Seth Rollins won with the Bears, so he's pretty good. So I mean, they'd have.
We always like when an obscure team.
And then
that's true fandom, I'd say.
Yeah, they have Street Fighter tournaments. They have Uno. They've been on Uno, so I watch him from time to time at work, and he's a lot of fun. So they are going to appear. What's so funny?
No, I watch it sometimes too. The Uno.
Yeah, they have Uno. Who's always on there is the
It's Cesaro,
Tyler Breeze or whatever.
Tyler Breeze and the dude from NXT, Adam Cole.
Yeah, they're always having like Uno battles on there.
I gotta tell you, any of those guys that do the amount of traveling that pro sports do and all that kind of stuff, video games are a great thing, and most of them have discovered them. I know for a fact a lot of NFL players play a crap ton of video games and all this kind of stuff.
Well, Pat McAfee was saying that on his show. He's like, back in the day, we'd all be hung over or whatever, but you guys just play video games. So,
I mean, they all travel with consoles.
Yeah. See, that's why you gotta get that case. If I become a football player, I have my case.
Yeah, but you ain't got no Gucci on that. Them boys travel nicer than you could believe.
But anyways, they are going to be downloadable skins in Gears of War 5. Now, Gears of War 5 came out a while ago, but you can get it on Game Pass for free and stuff like that. And Batista's already been on there as well. So now the New Day will be downloadable on Gears of War 5. I think it coincided with the launch of the new Xbox, so you can play the old game on the new Xbox, but with the New Day characters as on the multiplayer. So that's kind of cool.
They like a good skin in a Gears of War game. They love to pull out skins and all that.
You know who else is a huge gamer on the WWE is the AJ Styles. He always show. So him and Xavier Woods on the Up Up Down, they ended up going to. They always go like when they're on the road. They go to like video game museums and stuff. It's pretty cool,
man.
So yeah,
it's a perfect hobby. Like I said, if you're a road warrior and you go out on travel and stuff like that, you can always rely on hooking that console up and having a good time. I mean, I don't know why anyone who travels
the internet connection sucks. You call the local Charles to come fix it.
Yeah, dude, you have no idea how many consoles I got to get online when that happens.
So there you go. The New Day in Gears of War 5. Now,
real
Charles,
quick, let me jump in here real quick. I didn't put in this story, but I just thought of it. Did you see that Amazon got exclusive rights to Coming America 2? Did you see that?
I heard about that.
Yeah, so they're going to
how much did they end up paying for it?
An
like
obscene amount of money. Yeah, it's that Borat money. Now they're hitting them up. So that Amazon's really into just picking these movies up and throwing it on the service.
Did they give a date on when they're going to put it on the service?
It's supposed to be in the first of the year at some point, is what they said. But the exclusive home is going to be Coming to America 2, and I know I'm intrigued by it. I really am.
Bill, your thoughts on that? You're shaking your head.
I just don't have any faith that that's going to be any good.
Yeah, the fact that they sold it off makes you nervous.
It's a classic. I would rather than just left it alone. I know that that's not what they do in Hollywood, but
yeah.
Especially though if it's if it's free on a streaming service, I'm definitely gonna check it out.
So, on this next news note, it really hits home with Charles because he's a huge Conan, and I like Conan O'Brien as well.
Hilarious.
Conan O'Brien is ending his talk show on TBS. And he is going to do a variety show on HBO Max.
I have a definite opinion, as I'm a huge Conan guy, as Steve alluded to. I love Conan O'Brien. I will tell you this, though. He does a lot of those weird road shows where he's playing guitar and people come out and do like comedy sketches and it's kind of loosey based, those aren't that good. So if that's, I think that's the way he's skewing in this. Where Conan is amazing is he's almost, when he's a man on the street guy.
And spontaneous.
Yeah, he is quick on his feet.
Did you hear the
and
good
just
news?
Hilarious.
The travel show he does will still be on TBS.
Without Borders is hilarious.
That is still going to be on. That is still going to be on
Borders
TBS. Yes.
Is just TV gold. Anytime he has interactions with Jordan Schlansky as one executive producer guy, I'm a huge.
What are your thoughts, Bill?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
You're doing yourself a disservice.
What is this called?
It's called Conan Without Borders, and it's basically Conan O'Brien traveling to different countries.
I saw the one when he was in Italy. It's on Netflix, too.
Yeah, it
Is
is.
it Netflix or is it a TBS show?
Yeah, it's on both.
It's
Netflix
technically
and
his
TBS.
talk show. They pull the segments out of and create another show with it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I will, since my days many years ago in doing loss prevention in hotels, I have got such a soft spot for Conan O'Brien, as Steve alluded to.
Yep.
I love that guy. But again, he does some of the funniest shit. Those Conan Without Borders has my side hurting laughing because he's just so funny.
I
He's
love the
also good at
Clueless Gamer
laughing at
segment.
himself. Yeah, he's just a funny dude, man. But I got to tell you, that variety show, I'm a little lukewarm on.
We'll have to wait and
but,
see.
Yeah.
And the question is Andy Richter with him for the variety show?
Andy Richter kind of gets a little uppity here and there all the time. He kind of leaves and comes back and all this kind of stuff. But I'll tell you this, a lot of Conan's staff and stuff like that, he's one of those loyal type dudes because like his guys move from NBC to they move around with him and do everything like that. He's one of those guys that have had staff members for like 20 years and stuff like that. I can't say enough good things about Conan. And let's be honest, like, I mean, at some point, I think John Oliver's proven that the late night talk show format is kind of dead.
Yeah, that's going to lead into one of our questions here at the end.
Okay.
So
I'm sorry.
you're getting ahead of the thing.
shit.
Literally, we're thinking the same way.
Yeah.
So that's Conan O'Brien. And then the last news of the day, and Charles loves when there's another nail in the theater coffin. So 2 news notes
You
for
text
Charles.
me midweek, and we're like, oh, okay, I think I'm getting screwed here, Charles.
Wonder Woman 84 is a sequel to the first Wonder Woman. It will release in theaters
Day and date. Yeah.
and HBO Max on the day. As much as I love theaters, if I can watch it home for free, I'm going to watch it home for free. I'm not going to go to the theater to see it. Plus, I'm not even sure they'll be open here in Michigan. So that's, and also on top of that, Disney Plus, the Soul movie we were talking about earlier, is going to be released on Christmas Day as well. So you have 2 movies you can watch Christmas Day on HBO Max and one on Disney Plus. One with the kids and maybe one with just yourself and thinking of Gal Gadot in the corner or something. I don't know.
Gal Gadot's gorgeous.
Yeah, or who's the Kristen Wiig? You can think about her too.
Not Kristen Wiig.
Not really. She's the
Gal
best.
Gadot's amazing.
So those will both be released on those services. So Bill, if you want to sign up for HBO Max that you have for free, you could do it, and on Christmas Day, you could sit and watch Wonder Woman, or you can watch the NBA. I believe the NBA is going to have a lot of games on Christmas Day as well. So there you go.
I'll be watching the NBA.
I got to tell you, I think this is a huge deal. We talked midweek. DC and Warner Brothers leaving a lot of money on the table.
Yeah.
Because those comic book movies are a license to print money. And the fact that they're willing to, we'll throw it in the theater, but anyone who has half a brain that would go to the theater, you could get a free month or 2 out of HBO Max. Why would you go? You could watch American Pickle.
A lot of them
something.
have caught on now. They only give you 7 days.
No, but I'm saying for the cost of them, okay.
Yeah.
For the $20 to take you and your special
You get a
lady
whole month
friend
of
out,
HBO, right,
you
yes.
get 2 months of HBO at home. Like, why would you?
It's $14.99 a month. So you don't
okay.
get it.
So a month and a third, and whatever. You know, but you get what
I
I'm
see what you're
saying.
saying, yeah.
The value doesn't lend itself to. Why would you go to the theater? I don't understand. I just, it's funny to see because. Steve texts me, dude, I think I'm screwed.
The theaters are going to die, man.
Yeah, especially with these
straight gonna
states
die.
randomly, and then if Joey B does anything nationally, I don't know how
Now,
it's going to happen.
I'll tell you this, though. If they would have done what Disney does, and I'd have to pay $30 to see Wonder Woman on top of my HBO Max, then I'm going to the theater because I can see at the theater for $10. You know that, right? It's the 2 $5 matinees. I'd have gone to the theater. But with it being free and everything, I'm staying at home and watching it. Let's be honest. I'm not dumb. I mean, I love theater, but at the same time, yeah, I can watch it for free at home. Well, fuck that. So, anyways, there it is. Another nail in the theater coffin. We keep. I don't know what's gonna happen, man. They keep closing these damn things. There's no new movies unless 2021. The vaccine comes and we all just flood the theaters at once.
You just don't see how it's feasible.
They're going to die. There's no way.
I don't know how, like, cruise lines, there's a lot of industries you got to wonder, like, how long
I've
can
been
you
seeing
handle
more and more
this?
cruise line commercials lately, especially on TBS for some reason.
They say that a bunch of people signed up to take that free cruise and everything, so I could be way off base, but you couldn't pay me to set foot in a cruise ship right now.
Me either.
Fuck that.
I'd rather lick handles in a hospital than be stuck on a friggin' cruise ship.
Yeah,
You'll get to a port, they won't let you off.
Yeah,
you'll be stuck in the port. Yeah, it's
just
crazy.
get stuck in some little tiny ass freaking sleeping quarters to die.
Yeah, dude,
Fuck that.
And people say they said they had a record number of people sign up for that test trial.
Like, cruise people are almost like a cult, right?
Yeah.
Once you
and
take
our
a
dad's
cruise,
kind of part of that,
and you become part of the cult, and it's like we got to go on a cruise. Like Gary from Men on the Move, friend of the show, he's a big cruise guy. I guarantee. The first second, he might have signed up for the free one.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know, but interesting. And there is a cult of the cruise people. I know that. So, Charles, you alluded to it with the Conan O'Brien
I didn't
thing.
know I was stepping on your segment or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. So the last, we're going to end with this. I'm going to ask you both. The old school Johnny Carson late night talk show, is it still relevant here in 2020? Now, I know they all got a boost. At least Colbert and Kimmel did. Talking politics for this last year.
The Trump stuff. Yeah.
But that's all going to fade now that it's over, and the orange idiot's eventually going to end up out of the office, blah, 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 blah. So I'm asking you two, is a late night format still essential? Is there dead and it's dying kind of like
again, I didn't mean to jump ahead, but like I think that someone like a John Oliver has already proven that like that format has got to change and has got to kind of morph into something different. No one wants to watch someone like a random like Tom Hanks or someone drone on like in a prepared segment for 2 minutes. It just seems so dated. And it was different when you couldn't just follow Tom Hanks on Instagram. Now I can find out what Tom Hanks is up to at any point all the time. It's such an antiquated thing. I think it's got to go away. I really do. But that's my 2 cents.
And Bill?
I agree. And I was probably never into it at the level you guys were in the first place. But like Charles said, I mean, everything, we have instant access to literally everything now. So having people come out to promote movies that people have already seen multiple trailers about, know the details of the movie, know what's going on, the story behind it, and then listen to them go over some prepared clip that, and talk about, something that's very predetermined and scripted ahead of time. You also don't have the personalities that you had, even going back to, David Letterman's not walking back through the door, and none of these guys here are David Letterman. I don't know how Conan seemed to get, banished to, sort of mid-level cable TV.
Jay Leno did that to him.
Oh, because he's the best of the bunch. He's the best of the current bunch, but the
people
rest
like
of
Jimmy Kimmel a lot. I know that Jimmy Kimmel seems to be well thought of.
Yeah, you're right, but his whole shtick now is just super. And I'm not a conservative Republican or whatever, but he's like he's kind of lashed onto that I'm a super liberal, and like after the shootings in Vegas, he was on the stage crying, going on about.
It's
gun
like
control.
you're on the Man Show.
Yeah, I know. It's like
there was always political commentary,
the spokesperson
right?
for liberals.
But how there's always been political commentary in these, and that they make it fills their monologues or whatever. But I remember it being more so just finding the humor and the stupidity of politics, rather than jumping on a soapbox and taking a political stance with everything.
Yeah, well, Colbert and Kimmel straight jumped
activists.
on soapbox. Yeah.
One other show that needs to die, too, we're giving it a kind of a gloss over. I hate The Daily Show. I hate that Trevor Noah guy that's on there.
Yeah, it's
I am
bad.
not a fan of the Daily Show.
Seen it. I didn't even like it when Jon Stewart was on it.
Yeah,
but I know a ton of people came from it.
Yeah,
like Steve
it's a
Carell,
huge
John
thing.
Oliver.
Yeah,
I mean, it gives
it was
a lot
a
of people.
farm system for a lot of great talent. I get it.
Yeah,
but
but
not for me, man.
Now I heard that right now, like Fallon and who's the chubby English guy? I always forget. Corden, James Corden, and stuff. Their whole shtick is to get one funny segment, not even with the celebrities, but one of their segments, and get it on YouTube and get it to go viral. That is more important than the actual ratings. Because if you think about it, that's what spurred that carpool karaoke thing, like that and shit like that.
I hate James Corden.
I know, but that segment
James
is super, super popular. So because of that, the CBS and all them love that for that, and that's kind of like their angle now. Is
Yeah,
they're
but
trying
that's
to
not,
get bits.
to your point,
And the show
though,
as a whole is terrible.
It's
but
not
that
a
one-
traditional talk show. Like
I
it
know.
just at some point. But I can't stay up till 11 o'clock anyway. And even my love of Conan, I cannot TiVo it every day. I just can't do it. I
like the
love
same
Conan.
shtick every night.
Yeah,
I do. The only time I
No.
TiVo it is Conan when he goes to Comic-Con because at least it feels a little different.
because he's out on the
And
when he's
he
a
gets-
man on the street. It's such comedy gold.
That week at Comic-Con, I always record that. But I used to record Conan like you. The same thing all day, and it's like Monday show is a lot like Tuesday show, which is a lot like Wednesday show, and no celebrity ever says anything worth interesting. Every once in a while, there'll be like a Bill Burr on. That's entertaining.
Bill Burr's
or
hilarious.
a Burt Kreischer might show up, or a Dave Chappelle, but that's rare. It's usually like
that's one or two a month.
You're, like you said, you're getting the Tom Hanks, you're getting the fucking De Niro who says nothing. And it's like
They're so prepared and so polished. It's like there's no reality
generic
to it.
actress 101.
But I
walks in.
also think that that's one of the things that draws me to like a Joe Rogan experience and all that kind of stuff. When you can get someone, you know, to actually be a human being and have a conversation, I find that a little more compelling. I don't know.
Than just being there to promote.
Yeah,
shit.
I don't hold stuff against them. You know, it's like when the Elon Musk stuff does. You know, when he was on there smoking and stuff like that. Like, you should be a regular human being. Like, people do this shit. You know that, right? Like, we're not that delusional. That format's got to go.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you? And like I said, Jimmy Kimmel always puts his segments on Facebook, which I follow, and so I can watch like half his monologue on Facebook in the morning for 7 minutes, and then I'm good. I don't need to hear him talk to fucking Anthony Anderson for 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what is Jennifer Aniston doing today? I don't care. You know, but I know we're not celebrity whores. A lot of people in this world are. So and they may
but then
stick
I would
around
still
for that.
argue that, like, if you really want to know what's going on with Jennifer Aniston, just follow her on some kind of social media platform. You can know what her projects are, what she's up to. They all post all that shit. So if you're really that entrenched in like the world of these people, you know, just kind of
Especially
that format's got.
I can tell you everything Rock's doing every second of his life because that guy loves posting shit, right? Yeah. So
It's America's sweetheart right there. Don't you dare.
I know, but I'm just saying, you ever want to know a celebrity, it's definitely The Rock. So
Yeah, I don't know. I was
ahead.
going to ask one of the what besides SNL. What are some of the other random things that you just are shocked that are still around? Like,
Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Right off the top of my head. That's number
There's
one.
a few things. that are
Everything
just like,
named CIS or CSI or
and
whatever.
They still do gangbuster ratings. All those Law and Orders too. You're like, who's anything on CBS?
95% of the reality shows.
Yeah.
There's a couple good ones, but it's like, how is Survivor still on? And I'm not knocking it. I mean, I do fall into it too, but it's like, this is 30 years of this shit. I mean, it was
It's the same shit.
Yeah, it's the same shit. And The Bachelorette, Dancing with the Stars, it's all terrible.
BB, what do you got?
Most of that stuff, the Voice, American Idol.
When is Fox gonna? Let's change all of TV right now. Let's all the three of us right now. When is Fox's pregame gonna blow out Terry Bradshaw, Howie Long? They've been on there
Who
for
was
like
I talking to this
25 years.
Was I talking to you about this, Bill?
Yeah, and you know what? I've gotten to the point now. I don't even watch pregame.
Yeah,
It's so
the
bad.
NFL games start at noon here.
Don't talk about Bill Cowher, or I'll punch both of
I
you.
swear
but-
to God, I was talking to Bill about this 2 weeks ago, and Bill goes, "You just want to fire all the old guys." So, and Bill Cowher's at the top of the
but I
fucking
don't-
list.
don't
That
you
white
dare.
zombie.
Don't
I
you
care
dare.
what you say.
That's the
Games
people's
start at noon
coach.
here.
Huh?
The games start at noon here, and I turn it on about 5.
Shit can Esiason. Shit can Phil Sims.
They're all just kind of
James
bad.
Brown could go. He's been James Brown's been there
some
since
point,
95.
Shake it up, right?
I know.
But then, like,
and why is there like 5 of them?
that panel's growing, ain't it?
3 people,
I think
right?
they had Phil Sims. Tony Romo bumped Phil Sims. They didn't know what to do with him, so they're like, throw him over here. Because Phil Sims probably what year did BV? Look up what year Phil Sims retired from the NFL.
Oh, it had to be like the early
92.
Yeah, I mean, what are we talking about? Like, at what point
He's so
is
terrible.
your insight even relevant?
CBS is the home of stuffy white guys. I kind of like Nate Burleson. I don't mind him.
He's okay.
He's okay.
I also don't like Dungy.
Your zombie coach has got to go.
Don't you dare.
He's got this weird hay hair. He's kind of like barely moving. He's like fucking Kurt Angle when Kurt Angle can't move his
does
neck.
look
What do you think, coach? Well, what they got to do? Dude, he's so
He's like a
stiff.
South Park character.
Yes, he's so weird. I know you love the
1993,
guy.
by the way.
1993. You guys graduated from high school.
The
when
same
this guy,
year that this guy
I mean,
retired.
at some point, how is he relevant? You have Tony Romo, who, again, right now, I'll give him 5 years where his knowledge will be relevant, and then we got to look elsewhere.
Yeah.
Because, like, at some point, the speed of the game passes these guys by.
I just say put comedians in there. Let me laugh.
Yeah, but do we got to put up with, like, I'm Frank Caliendo? Like, you
Well,
like those segments?
That guy's been gone for like 7 years.
I'm
you know
mad.
that.
Oh, no, it's Rob Riggle. I like the Chiefs. Hey! Like, shut up. They're just as bad, too.
I don't know. How about we just shit can the pregame show? First off, let's just make it a half hour. Why is it got to be an hour?
I don't know what
And
to
ESPN
do.
starts at like 5 a.m. I don't know what the
Why not? Here's my take. Why doesn't one of these channels just lean hard into the betting and like just have like a sports book like leading up to kickoffs where it's like here's the lines, here's where we're at. FanDuel.
So we still like to pretend that everyone goes to church. And
When are
plays
we going to go
football.
like full Europe though? You know what I mean? Like when are we
I
going to
don't
go
know.
full Europe and just embrace the betting of it?
You know who we need in a pregame show? Pat McAfee.
We tell it all the time.
Pat McAfee.
They never
Put him and
listen
his
to
crew
us.
on the pregame. I'd love it because he talks about gambling all the time.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know. I might take those
But
guys.
I mean, but that's what people are into. The FanDuel sportsbook stuff is starting to go nationwide, and I don't know, man. I hate Terry Bradshaw is not funny. He's a dick in real life. Like, stop acting like he's this charming guy. He does nothing but shit on current like Steelers and stuff like that. He's an asshole. I don't like Terry Bradshaw.
Who else is an asshole? Bill Cowher. He needs to go.
I can't
The
believe
white Tony Dungy needs to go. Both of those guys are zombies.
I do.
I'm
will
pretty
tell you this,
sure.
and I think BB will coast on this. I like Mike Tirico.
Yes.
I like
Yeah.
Tirico.
That's ironic because we were saying the same thing. You know what else I like? That dude on Fox who does the college, the play-by-play, Gus Johnson, who's all into everything.
Oh, okay.
He actually has a pulse, unlike
Yeah.
fucking Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. Yeah, what do you think, Troy?
Dude, when did Aikman retire at this point? Like early 2000s?
That would have been late 90s probably.
Late
97,
90s? He's
94.
20 years out of the game.
Yeah, he's got to go. Too.
How are you relevant at this point?
I want Mike Tirico and Gus Johnson on everything.
I do like Mike
And you know
Tirico.
what else got to go? Al Michaels needs to go. He's
Yeah.
110 years old.
Collinsworth, I don't
Collinsworth
think-
never needed to be. I don't even know what the hell.
2000 for Aikman.
Put Tirico and Peyton
20
Manning in the
years
booth.
out
I
of
want to
the
hear those
game.
two.
Have you ever watched the thing on YouTube that McAfee and his crew does called Hammer Down?
No. What are you talking about?
There's a little show that they do about football betting.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Him and his buddies are sitting around talking
Yeah,
about
hammer
lines
down.
and shit.
Okay,
Yeah.
there's our new
Why don't they
pregame.
just-
And he's
Just
got
put
that
that
Thor
on.
hammer. He goes, hammer it down. They're going to win. God damn it. Pat McAfee needs to host everything.
Dude, but again,
Yeah.
he's relevant. He's not that far out of the game, and that's
Yeah.
what they let these dinosaurs on here. And I'm
Well,
like,
what started the
okay.
conversation, me and Bill, is like, I was like, Lee
Yeah.
Corso needs to go. He needs to retire. And then-
I like Herb Street though.
Herb
You
Street's
have
fine.
Herb Street? I'm
Yeah, but
okay
Herb
with
Street does that weird thing where, like, I can't pick him. I'm calling the game tonight.
Oh yeah.
You see, okay,
Listen,
you're either
I'm
on game day
Switzerland.
or you're an announcer. Take your pick. You're not on both. Yeah, that's annoying too. It's like no one cares who you're actually picking.
So let us
douchebag.
figure. We fixed late night television.
We're just gonna fireball. We're just gonna put John Oliver on once a week.
Don't
late
even
night.
get me going on those other shit bags from ESPN. ESPN's is terrible too.
Oh.
Don't even. You love ESPN. Oh, Chris Berman's so funny.
Chris Berman's dead. He's not even on there
good.
anymore.
He's on like ESPN the Ocho. They put him
No,
on
who's
there.
on there that you probably hate and I like is Rex Ryan. I like Rex Ryan. I like Rex Ryan.
You're gonna shit on Coward. You're gonna take Rex Ryan.
At least Rex Ryan's got a pulse. Fucking Coward's got straight. He's a marionette sitting up there. What do you think, Coach? Well, they play defense. With his weird ass straw hair, and then someone's got their hand up his ass, moving
I
his
cannot
mouth.
believe you would say this about American legend Bill Cowher. How dare you?
How old is Bill Cowher? Look that up. He's got to be every bit of 70. I swear to God. If he's not 70, he looks 70.
You're such a dick.
Him and Terry Bradshaw should do a reality show together and then retire.
63 years old.
63. That's our dad.
When did he retire? Because Tomlin's been there plugging.
2007.
Yeah,
Yeah,
13
he's 13
years out of
years
the
out the
game.
game.
What do you think, Coach?
I think.
Well, I think.
I tell you this,
No charisma.
we're gonna start a new rule. 5 years is your shelf life out of the game. After 5 years, the game has passed you by.
Yeah, and we got plenty of other retired players that can come
we
in.
got enough that we can bring in. Yeah, I think I'm gonna give you.
I got a
5
better
years.
rule. Whoever's had multiple concussions can be on the pregame show because you never know what'll
Watch
happen.
them punch you shit. Yeah,
Just do, like,
tomorrow
flashing
we
lights
just
at 'em
shout
while
at
they
a 12
talk.
game.
It's gonna be good times. Oh,
Any other industries you need us to fix, BB? You got anything you need fixed? We just fixed a lot.
No industries, but
you know what they need to fix too? I don't watch golf, but why is the fuckers whispering? They're like 300 miles away from the people who fucking do the golf.
That's a weird, stupid thing. But
Yeah.
and that's another one where they just don't give certain people, and I'm thinking of Faraday being the main one. They don't let the certain good ones in the middle of the mix all the time. They got Jim Nance whispering in a booth 400 yards away.
Yeah, it's not like the player can hear. The only thing I'm about to do is shut the fuck up, Nance.
God damn it, Nance.
It's like, why are you whispering?
and the only two people that are allowed to do color on any golf tournaments are Nick Faldo and Johnny
Faldo
Miller.
on everything. Faldo's
Faldo's CBS and Johnny Miller's NBC, and that's it. Nobody else.
But your coach has got to go. And
You're-
Tony Dungy needs to go too. He looks like a muppet.
Speaking of that, real quick, as we talked about golf, BV, did you end up watching any of that Masters? I know
I
Dustin
watched a good
Johnson kind of
amount
went
it,
away
yeah.
with it. Yeah.
I heard the highlight was
Johnson
Wayne
ran
Gretzky's
away with
daughter.
She's smoking hot.
Yeah, Paulina
She's
Gretzky,
been
yeah.
smoking hot for years, dude.
Dude, you should have seen the little outfit she had on when he won the
Told you,
tournament.
she was the highlight.
Yeah,
he grabbed
she
her
was-
ass or something. They talk about it on the radio.
Yeah. She had like this little Adidas track jacket and these freaking tight ass yoga pant looking things that were. Yeah, she's a piece of arse, all right.
Bill's reenactment. His tight ass Adidas. Yes.
So anyway.
Retweet.
All right, let's get out of here.
All right.
We gotta
Hold
wake up
on.
early tomorrow.
Very, very quickly. I'm
Yes.
sorry. So, are you guys familiar? And I know this isn't the show notes or anything, but are you familiar? You're familiar
BB's
with Kyle
riffing.
Rittenhouse?
With what?
Kyle Rittenhouse.
No.
This would be the teenage white guy in Kenosha after the whole thing with that went out into the.
Shot that dude?
Yeah, well, yeah, with the AR-15.
Yeah, okay, I know who he is.
All right, so he was released on bond yesterday. He was on $2 million bond.
Are we on the Ben Shapiro podcast? Like, what's happening right
So
now?
as it comes out, apparently the primary benefactors of his bond were Mike Lindell, the inventor and CEO of fucking My Pillow, and we'll still call him actor, I guess, Ricky fucking Schroeder. Like, are you so fucking desperate to be relevant for 20 seconds that you're going to kick out a shitload of money so you can get on the news for fucking bailing out some freaking racist kid who went into a goddamn protest with an AR-15 and popped people in self-defense, of course, but like,
I'm
really?
shocked the guy from My Pillow has $1 million.
I mean,
I don't know.
they didn't
I know
say
he's a
how much
crazy
it was, but
Republican
apparently it was
guy.
partially paid for by both of them.
Oh, man.
I don't know how Ricky Schroeder still has anything left. He
He's
hasn't
got
been
the
on
Silver
TV since-
Spoons money. How dare you, BV?
Oh my God, that hasn't even been on syndication since like
How
1980.
dare you? He's riding the train.
Oh my God, dude! I
Here
just don't
we
fucking
are.
get it. The fucking My Pillow guy. Really?
My Pillow guy's a big time Republican. Big time.
Apparently, he's
Good.
selling a lot of
Good.
pillows.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he does, have his pillows manufactured in my home state of Wisconsin.
I heard they kind of suck.
I never had one.
I never had one, but I just thought that was pretty fucking ridiculous. I wanted to share.
That is interesting. When you say the kid's name, I was like, I have no. And then when you describe what he did, oh yeah, that kid, yeah, the racist kid.
Oh, the
That's
piece
funny.
of shit in Wisconsin.
Yeah, the piece of shit was.
And for your prognostication, Rutgers 17-7. A little over 2 minutes to go in the half.
I told you, easy money, bro, easy money.
And I'm not trying to justify this by any means because the talent level that's on you, I get it. But like, could it be the Shiano guy in Rutgers just knows how to get that program together? Is that possible?
He has one success in life, and it's Rutgers.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing. I can't win anywhere else but in Rutgers. It's
Yeah, I
so
don't know.
weird.
I couldn't win in Tampa, I tell you that much. All right, so all you Michigan fans out there, prepare to cry on your My Pillow tonight. That helped donate for a racist kid to get you out of jail.
Everyone have a happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll
safe
be
out
on
there
next
and-
Friday, maybe. I don't know. Friday,
yeah.
What's
Saturday?
that?
What are we looking for next weekend?
What are you guys into? I'm off
The whole weekend?
the whole week.
I'm off the whole week as well.
Look at that.
And not traveling to Michigan, so I will have unobstructed football for the entire day of
Oh,
Thanksgiving.
you're not coming in because you got to keep COVID distance?
That's right.
Why don't we shoot for
Good job,
Friday
BB.
so that way Bill can maybe pick a college game if he wants?
Okay.
I don't know.
It's up to
Maybe
you
I'll
guys.
pick a college game and a pro game.
Oh, man. Bill feeling saucy.
Look at this fucking got 2 locks on 2 locks.
Two, man. Damn.
Anyway, so
All right, so of
be
course-
safe out there and happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Try the Arby's deep
Big
fried
thumbs
turkey
up.
thing. Everyone, all three of us tubby bastards were like, it is goddamn delicious.
Arby's is on to some of
Yes,
that deep fried turkey.
So, of course, you can catch us on fatguyslittlepodcast.com. You can catch us on Google Play, iTunes, Spotify, and anywhere you can catch podcasts. After you listen to Joe Rogan and Dave Chappelle, make sure you go over and get Fat Guys on a Little Podcast.
Or just
episode
subscribe
124.
and it'll show up in your queue
Oh,
without
yeah,
you
that
having
too.
to do anything.
Ring the bell.
Ring the bell. All right, until next week, this is Steve.
And Charles.
Take you later.